Did you?
Oh, but did you see that? But
I'm not saying anything about the.
Oh, yo, let's just call it what it is. Fuckery.
Oh my God.
He said it.
Ain't no motherfucker in this world can do it like me. Open up your eyes and insert a little rising. You don't have to love me, you don't have to like me. Got enough love in myself, in my psyche. You should have the same in your brain nightly. If you wanna taste, bitch, you can fucking try me. If you wanna hate, bitch, you know where to find me. And if you're going atheist, you can fucking bite me. I'll be cruising in my lane fast, call it high speed. I've been working hard, yeah, I've been working nightly. If you think you'll win, ha, not fucking likely. I be taking shots, yeah, cold-blooded, icy. Watching numbers grow is what I call sightseeing. In the front row, run it up when they hype me. The following grows, they know how to ignite me. Call me CEO, I've been running shit right, see.
no, but did you see that?
I'm playing games, I create my own lane, making pleasure out of pain, turning losses into gains, I'm the boss, I'm making change. I've been rocking this exchange, popping off and risking things, gonna make a fucking name. I just wanna be famous, but I don't want that cheap fame. No, I'm not that vain, I just wanna be greatness.
Oh, yo, let's just call it what it is. Fuckery.
I just wanna be greatness. Ain't no motherfucker in this world can do it like me. Open up your eyes and insert a little rising. You don't have to love me, you don't have to like me. Got enough love in myself, in my psyche. You should have the same in your brain nightly. If you wanna taste, bitch, you can fucking try me. If you wanna hate, bitch, you know where to find me. And if you're going atheist, you can fucking bite me. Okay, I'm going off every chance I get. I don't really take a loss, well, I'll admit. That's why I'll make it to the top, yeah, I commit. And no, I'm never getting lost, I get after it. Investing in my own stock, cause it's faster than any crypto hits go, let me spend. Everything that you see is something I invent. And it's only a percent. I'm gonna take shots. If I miss all, forget it. I'll take a fat loss just to learn all that's in it. I'm taking snapshots, learning how to fall and get it. I'm getting back up, always stand tall, don't sweat it. I never back up, I don't miss a thing or regret it. I'm always learning, you could call me academic. I'm always working, never been apathetic. Bad energy is like a poison, needs some antiseptic.
No, but did you see that? But
I'm not saying anything about the.
Oh, yo, let's just call it what it is. Fuckery. Damn, I love that intro.
Jamming over here, like,
No, he's like, get out of your chair. Like, oh my God, I can't even sit still. Oh, I just can't. I can't. And what a great way for like to get them all ready for all these legal stuff we got to talk about today because you know the last day. Well, we don't know that. Like they could really run it through tomorrow. Jury deliberations. They're going to come back.
yeah.
After forgetting everything they heard all weekend.
There's some issues with the jury instructions. Did you see Uncivil Law's video?
I did not watch Uncivil Law, but I have it queued. I'm hoping you can give me a TLDR. Maybe
I
then too.
will give you a TLDR. And I see that Feline is here, which is awesome.
Oh, yes. Hey,
they're
Angie.
always top-notch legal stuff also.
They are. Yeah, so help us out. Help us out as much as you'd like, you know.
But I would definitely say if anybody has a chance and they can go watch Uncivils, he does an amazing breakdown. and I'll get
link
into it.
I'll link
Yeah,
it later.
cool.
When you
Yeah.
link me, I'll link it down in the description. Since when Mandy praises it, that means she got good information from it, and
I
she
like
heard
Uncivil
her.
a lot. I have to say, for a lot of people don't particularly care for him. I
Mhm.
absolutely love him, and I've been with him
Uh-huh.
since he was at about 10K.
I
And the
I
yeah,
did too, like really early,
yeah,
really
the
early. Yeah.
reason I appreciate him so much, and people get mad about this, but it's true, is that he only goes off of the evidence in a case. If there's a
Mhm.
filing in a case. So
Mhm.
even say hypothetically where KJ is involved, everybody has these opinions, of course,
Mhm.
about, well, she did this and she did this and she's done this, but it doesn't matter in the whole legality of something.
Mhm.
So I always appreciate that he's like, no, I don't want any outside influences. I
Mhm.
just want to read, the information that's going to be presented to the court
Mhm.
to be
Mhm.
able to come up with, his analysis of what he thinks. And
Mhm.
so
I
I
do
really
like
enjoy
that.
him. I really
And
do.
that makes him very kind of straight about it, and that's what I'm looking for, because I already have my opinions. Like I don't need other people's opinions in there. I just want the facts, and I want to I want to hear something different and a new angle. I want to know what other angles there are to something, what I'm missing, what I haven't seen yet. And he's a little bit better at that. And you know what you can't, and I'm going to praise him on one point here. No one else, and I'm serious. I watch a lot of what they call, I won't no, the legal channels. I'm not even going to call them what they're calling themselves anymore because of what I heard and what I've seen over the weekend. Like they're just as messed up as every other YouTuber out there. But anyway, what I would say with Uncivil, I could give him this praise, and no one can come for him on this. That man knows constitutional law like no one on YouTube. So if you have anything to do, if your case has anything to do with constitutional law or anything like that in the United States, Uncivil, because he's going to come at it with an
He's so smart.
iron freaking clad precedent and all on that constitution on it. And you know what? And he's right. I have not found him to be wrong yet on any point that he's made in that area. So I got to give him those props there.
Mhm.
He could be a little stoic about some things, because, we don't, politics and things like that's different, but his legal on this stuff is perfect. It's just, it's exquisite.
He's super intelligent, don't you think?
Oh, yeah.
I just think that
I do.
he's so intelligent.
Mhm. They will be, Sandy. They're not right now because I needed my co-host here seal of approval on what he just did before I linked him, because I don't unless she agrees, I'm not linking it, because it has to be solid, because I'm not going to spread it to all of you unless we can back it up. So that's why we're going to talk now about that video, and I will link it later. But let's just go over, before we go into the other meats and potatoes, is it okay to give the TLDR on his video since we brought him up?
Oh, yeah. Do you want me to kind of give a quick rundown, since we are actually going to talk about the verdict forms, and I believe we are going to play jury instructions.
Yep, that's at the beginning of day 24. So I have that queued up, the very beginning of day 24.
We're pulling that from I'm
fucking raking, has the cleanest copy. I'll say it. I say that word all the time. Nobody's going to drop their
just because she has downloaded them, or excuse me, uploaded or put them on her channel
in a very, very clean copy. No talking, nobody interfering. It's the fact. Just what happened. You get to eyeball it yourself, hear it yourself, and the sound is good. For those of you that were having trouble with the sound, because when you're feeding through another channel and stuff like that, the sound got muffled, it was low, whatever. These are nice, clean copies, props. Much appreciation to I'm fucking Raking for taking her time doing that for everybody for no gain whatsoever. Just doing it so we all. No, she's not monetized, and she's doing it for all of us that really like legal, like the cases. She's a big fan of legal cases, and she follows true crime, and she's just doing it. She's just doing it for everybody, and I got to give her very big props for it. She's an amazing person that way. If you don't,
Yep.
and we're gonna link her, and we linked her playlist to it down below if you want to check any of the days. Hey, Kyle's Goldfish, nice to see you here too. Look at it, it's like the chat. It's like our talkie chat is here, like from during the week. It's our legal case chat for this case. All right, go ahead. Tell them about Uncivil. I'm sure they want to know.
So I think what we need to listen to and pay attention to during jury instructions, and then I have the special verdict forms sitting right here, are and or statements. Okay.
Oh, that's always a big one.
Because
And
there's
or.
a difference between an and statement and an or statement. And in some of the instructions, it's a little confusing because one thing is said, but it can be something else. So he really goes into how the jury instructions were stated, and you're going to hear it because we're going to play it and see if you can figure out where she makes this and or statement when it should be and, but it's or it should be or and it's and. And that's why I say please go to Uncivil. He breaks it down amazing. It's not a long video, but he plays it and then he breaks it down and then he plays more of it and then he talks about it. So it's very well done, and it really
Cool.
caught my attention because he's not wrong ever. I just think he's Uncivil so smart. But he really is like, yeah, this could be confusing. This could be hold on, I'm going to his channel to pull it up.
If you do, just put the link in private or right there in the group chat for them. So some of them are like wanting to hold it for later.
It says Johnny Depp trial has mistake in the jury instructions.
Which now, where did he fall? Several people have like been hinting about that a little bit. Besides the fact that they got all over Elaine for misrepresenting what it actually said several times. I have issues. I caught her 4 times and I'm not even a lawyer. Like I just heard what the judge said. I heard what the judge said and then I heard what Elaine said and I was like, what happened? Like, did I miss? Like I thought I heard it wrong, and then I went back and played the judge, and no, I didn't. Elaine did it again.
Right. Yeah. I popped in the other day on Cheshire's stream where she was going through the the breakdown of closing arguments, and she had 2 little things on the bottom of her screen, and it said objections Depp heard, and then basically like what the result of the objection was. It was kind of cool to watch because she was keeping track of it. So that's also a good stream.
It did appear that most of the time when Depp's team objects, like more often they would get sustained than the other side. But you could also tell that during closing arguments, they just got pissed off. Like everybody just got pissed off at each other. Like, because they just normally you don't hear objections during closing arguments. I don't recall ever hearing objections during closing arguments before.
No, but when you are mischaracterizing the law and misstating testimony, you should be objected to. And okay, I'm sorry. I'm going to give my opinion because
isn't that what you're here for? Like, okay.
I see a lot of people standing up for Elaine and feeling sorry for Elaine.
Wait, what?
Oh, all over online saying they feel sorry for her. She had to deal with the hand that she was dealt with Amber. And let me just say this. She's been with Amber for 6 years. She was in UK. Or 2 years. So she was in the UK. She knows you would think anybody with common sense would realize that there's something fishy going on here with evidence, with stories. So even if you believe your client, which I'll give her that, she openly mocked opposing. She mocked Johnny Depp in court.
Yes, she did.
I don't forgive. That's unacceptable in my opinion.
Well, they've done quite a few unprofessional things. I mean, I've been talking about their legal manners since like day 2. I mean, they're pretty rude. Well, actually, day 1, like opening statements.
Yeah. Okay, I just put Uncivil's link in the chat. Okay, so that was sort of bothersome to me, the fact that she mocked him and then just completely mischaracterizing and misstating testimony. I was like, this woman is really intelligent. She knows what she's doing. So unfortunately, I just don't have, I don't feel sorry for her. And that's just personal opinion. Others can feel different. It's just who I am.
Listen, in a way, like I did not appreciate what she did. I don't. And believe me, she makes me crazy. Okay. The only where I give them a little bit of grace is that I do believe that they got pushed around by their client a little bit. Like when I started looking at who was getting put on the witness stand and what kind of testimony was coming out and the caliber of the expert witnesses, it behooves me to think that these well-rated, well-spoken professionals were actually making those decisions unhindered by their client, because it was just not very well put together. It was like an ego trip on steroids. I'm sorry. It was the Amber Heard story. Like everybody who likes me is going to come and that's it. Like, and if I can pay them to say what I want, that's what's going to happen, period. Because they did not really, I'd have to say, I was a bit disappointed. I really was. And although they have this, and I, don't come from me, YouTube, and I'm sorry, chat, but I need to tell you that when it comes to defamation, it's very hard to prove. And the law is on the side of Amber Heard here. It's a big hill to climb. It's a mountain to climb to get to a win. Okay. And I think they are more than 80% there. I really do. But there is the one simple thing that if they decide anything that they heard was abuse by Johnny Depp, defamation gets thrown out the window.
Right.
And that's a simple legal fact. It ain't, listen, it's not my opinion. I think that woman should be hammered. Like she should be guilty. This should be a criminal case at this point, and I'd be sending her to the slammer. But it's not. It's civil. It's got precedent. It's got legal law. It's got tooth to it as far as how defamation gets proved. But let me tell you, Johnny Depp's team did the best at proving defamation that I have ever seen on the floor, and I've watched at least 8 defamation cases to date. And I'm telling you, that was some great lawyering by that team. They did point by point. There are like 6 different issues in defamation that you actually have to hammer. They got 5. The only one they don't have is making sure that we can't prove. It can't be true. Any part of the statement can't be true. Okay. Otherwise it's not defamation. So that's why that abuse statement I made comes in. If they decide that him yelling and beating up cabinets was abuse, we got an issue. It's only what the jury stand.
Yeah, I really wish what they would have hammered is there's testimony actually from Dr. Hughes, where she talks about reactive, the reactive side of it. I wish Johnny's team would have taken her testimony and flipped it on her and said, so you talked about reactive abuse. Okay, how many audio tapes was there of Johnny trying to leave? How many audio tapes was there of, or how much testimony was there of Johnny trying to leave? You said it yourself that there's instances where the person being abused reacts to the abuse, and really tried to get her on her own words to show that some of the things that could have happened to Amber, that did happen to Amber. Her feet getting hit with the door, when he
Mm-hmm.
accidentally headbutted her, when he was trying to bear hug her,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
those sorts of things. I wish they would have hammered on that was actually Johnny's reactive,
Exactly.
side of
That
it. But
Yeah,
yeah, my Beavers unit,
that could have been
they
flipped.
did.
They
They missed
did. I
some,
agree.
some
I
things.
agree,
Yeah.
Beef. Yep. Because they could have like just said, is that what even on the testimony, is this what you really meant, Dr. Hughes? Could not be applied to Johnny as a victim. Like just make the statement, because then she has to think, and she's a professional, expert witness or not. I think she would have had to agree that everything she said in support of Amber could have been flipped and been in support of Johnny Depp, because they were the
Right.
exact same situation. And
Yeah.
I've talked to you, and I've talked to Luke, and I've talked to a few other people about it, and they all agreed. And they're all, psychology studying and, different degrees and on different levels and for different reasons. But they all agreed that it could just as easily been Johnny she was speaking about, except
Right.
for her caged language and unprofessional use of pronouns against a whole class of people. But that's besides the point.
Right.
Yeah. I didn't go to school, but I know enough that she really was showing her bias there. And it really showed in my opinion, when they brought her back to the stand, and she was nothing but agitated, aggravated, and just trying to defend herself and like spitting practically when anybody came at her. And I was just like, this isn't a good look. Like, who thought to put her back up here to say this? Like, what? Like, this is not good. This is not good,
Well, and if you've watched any of the testimony from the lawyers that were in court. So again, if you look at is it the behavior guy? Is that his name? It's
the
just the one
behavior
guy.
guy.
He
The young
had,
one, right?
yeah,
He's not that old. Yeah, he's like
he had Law and Lumber on, and Law and Lumber was in the courtroom. I only made it through half of it, and then I fell asleep with my earbud in my ear last night.
One part that fascinated me was about
Yeah.
Elaine. Did you see that part?
Oh, about her pulling at her hands and like.
Yeah, when your hands, okay, because this is a very common body language thing. I've heard this more than just from this guy, about when you're speaking adamantly and your hands are out in front of you where you can see them, and your fingers are open wide when you're talking, like you're not holding them together or anything, like they're open and you're flailing and whatever, just putting them out in front of you as you're talking, and you're just trying to get somebody, you're just expressing yourself really profoundly to them, and it's all open and wide. That means you're confident. You got more confidence in what you're saying and what you're, trying to convince somebody of or talk to them about or whatever, that you have great confidence in it. But when you bring them out of view and then they curl up, in like you close your hands, you bring your fingers back in, and they're tight against each other, either on your palm or together, that all that confidence is gone. So it kind of portrayed that Elaine was just putting it out there, like putting it out there that she believed in her client, but perhaps did not really be coming from that much confidence, so to speak. Really? Kind of.
Yeah.
So I found that interesting. But when he went in on Amber Heard, man, boy, did he go in on her.
Yeah, and I'm not even going to get into what the Me Too movement posted yesterday.
Mandy, I'm looking for somebody. Oh, YouTube. Hello, YouTube. Who wants to come and do a stream with me on that? Because that has to be done. I can't even. Mandy, I can't. That was I can't believe they did that. That was the biggest pile of horse shit I've seen on Twitter in a while. That's it. I said it there. Now you know where I'm coming from, people. But what did you? Did you get to the end of it before you started yelling?
I had to put my phone down at one point and walk away.
This is why we're friends, because man, let me tell you, I couldn't even talk to anybody about it. I haven't streamed on it. I wanted to bring it up on, I do that. What the F, it would have been perfect for that, because damn, was it like it was just a bunch of pile of effing, stuff. But I wouldn't touch it because I was just too hot under the collar about it. They're gonna hear for sure. But oh yeah. I believe, you know what, Kim, I'm right there with you. It was the absolute worth. Had everybody ranting to themselves. People that actually, I believe in Me Too. I know you do too, man. He did some good stuff.
Oh, I'm
Okay.
boycotting. I'm not using their hashtag anymore. I'm not.
Well, we're not
supporting of
using it. And
Nope.
all of you out there saying we got a hell of a lot of nerve for saying men too, because Me Too exists and it includes men. Are you blind? Go read that. Go read what they just put out there and then come back and talk to me if you
Yeah.
can. If you can. Yeah.
No,
Because
I've decided the American Liberty Civil Union, the Me Too movement, all of these things are way too political and have their own agenda for them to be movements that are or organizations that I want to support anymore. I do know that there is, something going around that you can
ow.
donate
Damn. Sorry.
to the Children's Hospital in Johnny Depp's name. I've seen that going around, but let me tell you what I do personally, because I don't know how many towns have this, but we have a thing in the town that I live in, and it's called FAN, FAN advocacy. And they work with all of the local school systems, and they take in money and donations and all sorts of stuff for underprivileged children in our community. It's like going up to the Christmas tree and taking a tag off the tree and buying gifts for children for Christmas. Those sorts of things are things that my husband and I choose to do because those are very community oriented. But as far as like the American Civility, and I can't even get their name out. I'm so frustrated by them. We learned in this ACLU, we learned in this trial, and most of us knew previous to this, that it was a very political thing that they were doing. They were doing it because there was issues going on with Trump, and I get it. People can have their own opinions, whatever, but it's not their place as a nonprofit organization that is supposed to help all people to be getting involved in political things, in my opinion. So that's just kind of my stance on that, is I will no longer support them, and I will no longer support. Yeah, exactly. I'm going to start using men too hashtag. I think we need to blow that up.
Yeah. Yes, definitely men too, because that means, and also gender has no, I mean, abuse has no gender. I'm sorry, I'm flustered because I'm just like, it absolutely does. Just as you can tell, it just really annoys me. I've been attacked on Twitter saying I have no business speaking on this because I'm not a survivor. No, but my brother is, and you know what? He's not here anymore. So if I want to talk about it, I will.
Yeah.
Period. Okay. And you know what? Nobody should be coming at anybody about what they want to talk about this stuff. If it makes sense and they're talking on an issue, who is anybody to come at anybody about who's got rights and things? Do they own that hashtag? Do they? Like, who does? The people that are speaking on it own it. Okay. What you make out of it, that's what it is. Okay.
So I think we'll have to do a whole entire, because we need to talk about some of the heads of the Me Too movement stepping away from Amber Heard. Amanda de Cadenet did, and there was another woman that was misquoted back during the UK trial about some stuff. So that's something that we should definitely look into at another time. Maybe we'll talk about that.
Yep. Did I
I'm
just
reading.
Yeah. Okay, you're reading.
Okay.
All right.
So if we want to start with
well, can I just play this one little clip? And Beav, I have to show our DMs to do it because you asked me to, and I can't get it to go big. So I want to just pull this up for a second, because this little clip of those guys, the behavioralists that we were talking about, I just want to show so that they know what we're talking about. They were really good, and I want you to go see the video. I am going to put it down below, but just so you can see, it's only 39 seconds. Okay. And everybody's going to see that you and I talk, but who cares, B? Because we do talk. Like, I don't care. It says, it's a benign thing, but right. Can you see it? Right.
Yep.
I'm just going to push it. If I make it bigger, for some reason, my Chromebook's making it smaller. So let me just rewind this back. Whoop. Hey, stop it. Okay. I hate this YouTube. All right, here we go.
Pressed by the lie, and they're not even trying to hide it. Like they're not like Johnny's like looking at at first he's like, did you just say that? And he takes a second and he goes, that's good. And Camille looks at Johnny and goes, that was good. Yeah. And it's almost like he's proud of that. There's a part of him that's like proud of that line. He's like, yeah, that's me. I like that. I'm not even upset at this.
No, I see it. That was awesome.
And also, let's take a second here. Let's be serious here for a sec. Linguistically, it's so powerful because the first thing he's doing is he's reminding everyone that the reason we know.
Anyway, they were talking about Rottenberg, okay? They were talking about how Camille and Johnny didn't get upset. Nobody got upset when Rottenberg said what he said in that closing, okay? Because he sold himself out. Like, he really just, did you see their reactions? He said that was confidence. That is like when you can sit there and you're confident in where your team is coming from and you're watching the other team trying to tear you down, but they're like really sticking their foot in it about it. It was brilliant. And I really liked that moment. Thank you for sharing that, Beaver. I just wanted to show you guys, but hopefully it came over okay. Yes. And Aaron, very funny. Wrong show. Stop it. Stop it. Ha 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 ha.
There was multiple funny comments because
I know.
I think it was both Aaron's, by the way. Yes,
Aaron, of course it was. Of course, Aaron and Aaron. Of course you would. And wrong show, people. Bring it next Sunday. I'll listen. Okay, no problem. But anyway, I wanted you to hear that because first of all, that's the young guy we're talking about. That's the behavior guy that Mandy and I are speaking of. We're going to link that video down below. Watch the rest of it. They point out a lot about
Ginger
this.
said Spidey is what he goes by. I'm pretty new to him, but I remember that now. But yeah, he's great.
I really enjoyed him. I like people that are unflappable, just like really like easygoing. They're not talking down to you, but they really kind of have a good point about it. They know what they're talking about. He had some amazing pointers, but he doesn't try to make it out like it's an all woo-woo science and he knows so much, like it's all so scientific. It's just like common sense wise, like really practicality, which was refreshing from a behaviorist because, they're always trying to convince me of something and they don't like it.
You're going to pull up Reagan and I'm going to mute.
Oh, God, sorry.
What is that?
It was the evilness. It was the evilness of my cell phone deciding to attack us in the middle of a damn. Oh, my God, it's dead. I just killed my phone, people. I'm a murderer of iPhone right there on YouTube. I did it. But anyway.
All right. So do that. I'll be back in 2 shakes. I got to go do something real quick.
Okay. And what was I pulling up? Wait, before you leave. What did she tell me to pull up? I don't even know. All right. Yes, it was Arcanics. It was definitely the phone. Whoever you are trying to get a hold of me, not now. Okay. So anyway, what did the behaviorist was also went on Amber Heard, which I can talk to you about while Mandy's outside. He was talking about how when you're trying to convince someone that you're sad and you make that little frown like face like that, if the middle muscle on your chin is like engaged, that means you had to do it. It didn't happen organically. Like you had to force yourself in it. And that when Amber did it a lot, she pushed her chin up and out towards the jury and towards the people she was trying to impress with her sadness. Yes, I said that. Impress with her sadness. But yeah, he gave us all these little things to look for. But hey, Spooky Spoon. Yeah. So anyway, on that, we're going to also go over some of the closing arguments. Just basically, when you watch that video by the behaviorist and Law and Lumber, they actually, when Spidey and he talk about it, they actually go over just some points that you can see little things happening, and you can tell like when they're into it and when they're not into it. And one of the things that did come up is that this came up in several of the legal channels, and I do agree with it 100%. There is a big difference when you can tell that a lawyer actually believes what they're saying and believes what is coming from their client and what has happened. And if anyone watched Camille's closing arguments, and if you couldn't tell that she believed every word, the jury was hung on every word. Now, they may not have liked everything that she had to say, but they listened so intently to everything she had to say, because there was no doubt that the way her body language was, the way she used language, the way she used her hands, the way she looked at them, that she had any doubt at all that what she was saying, she believed it 100%. She was coming 100% solid on it with total
And when Ben
confidence.
Chu choked up, talk about me
Okay.
crying at work.
Exactly. And then Ben too. Those were people that actually believed what they were saying. And when Ben got done his closing argument and went to that table and reached for Johnny, the whole courtroom felt that hug. I did through the internet. Those are people that, regardless of what else is going on in this trial, win or lose, they believed 100% in their client. And you could tell in their lawyering. You could tell in their statements to the jury. And I think that's going to resonate a lot, but I know it resonated with me. I saw people really fighting for somebody. Okay.
Yeah, and Feline, I heard that and I went, oh shit. And then I went back and was like, let me listen to that again. And I heard it and I was like, oh shit. But I think the word was the difference between she and he. And
right.
She said
it was
she.
a pronoun thing. It was a pronoun thing. Yep.
Yeah. So I'm hopeful. I mean, because we have the ability to rewind and be like, oh, F, is that what she just said?
Right.
They don't. So I'm hoping that they were, even if they caught it, that it was like, okay, that was just that wasn't intentional. That was a slip and we're going to move on. And so I'm hopeful. Like I said to you in chat, Intrigued Feline, I have said, and you can go back on Claire's things, I do not feel anyone is going to win this. It's just personal opinion from the legal aspect of it. But what Johnny got to do and the change in his demeanor from day one to Friday when he left is a different person because he finally got to speak. So I don't care if neither of them win. I don't care if Johnny wins. I just don't want Amber to win.
No, I don't think she can, because the other thing that Johnny did, not only did they get like 80% towards defamation, in my opinion, I'm not a lawyer, but I'm going over the points and I see what they did. I think they got there, except for the one point has to be decided by the jury on whether this issue of abuse exists or not, whether it's a true statement, period. Now, the thing that happened with the countersuit, though, is that Johnny's team dismantled 4, 5, 6 points of the 8 that I have in my mind very, very efficiently. There is no monetary loss on the side of Amber Hughes. She can't prove defamation as a celebrity unless you can prove that there was some kind of loss. And she didn't lose anything. She's doing better than she ever was. So where does that come from? Like, just because somebody says, I don't like you, Amber, that's not a financial loss. Okay.
And here's my thing. This woman has been charging $33,000 to go speak.
Man, and
as a victim or a survivor of domestic violence. Here's the deal. I don't want that bitch as my spokesperson. Because she she was abusive, and she taunted him, and she hit him. Do I feel like he was innocent in some of his behaviors?
Mhm.
No, I do not. He's got a vile tongue, and he uses it. But do I feel that that should be our spokesperson? Get the fuck out of here with that.
Mhm. I know. And then I and they're not backing down. They don't want to be appear as wrong. They don't want to take the chance that any part of it, whatever, like everybody going out there that says, if you're a woman, you have to believe her. You can't, if you believe in Me Too, you have to believe her. No, I don't. I still can believe in Me Too. I still can be a woman against domestic violence and call a liar a liar. Or say that I don't see the evidence, because that's just the way it is. It does. Gender shouldn't matter. Like it's don't put that crap on me. Like that is the most bullshit stuff I've ever heard. That's like, forget everything you see, forget everything you know, and just go with it because we said so, because we're bigger, and because it's got to be that way so we can support the mission. If you were supporting the greater good, I might not a little bit, but no, you're not, because you actually advocated for her while she destroyed somebody without evidence. Nope, not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. They deserve the hits they're getting. They're getting laughed at about it, and their organization is taking some hits, and it should, because you have to think twice. So should Warner Brothers. So should a lot of people. All of us think twice now. Think twice before somebody gets destroyed without evidence, because that's where it lies. That's where it lies for me in a court. In many countries, if something like this is going on, we don't know the parties' names. Nobody gets destroyed until it's proved. And then they get put on a registry or things happen to them. But nobody gets destroyed before it is proved. And I think I'd like to see it go that way a little bit. It would help. It would prevent people from coming forward and weaponizing the movement against another individual, and it would have prevented this in some way. But all right, so where we want to go next? Do we want to go to closing arguments, or do we want to go to jury instructions?
Jury instructions. I can't listen
Okay.
to the closing arguments.
Okay. All right.
I mean,
No,
I've listened.
I don't want to. I don't
Yeah.
want to listen to him either. We were just
Nope.
going to talk about. But anyway, I don't think she spoke what, like 10 minutes on this, I think. Or anyway, I'm going to try. I think if I mute, the sound will be better. Please feel free to tell me how the sound is down there when I put this on. Okay, but this is the judge going over the closing arguments. A lot of the streams sped it up and it went like really fast and we missed it. So we're just going to listen to it again. And then you can ask us some questions and we're going to try like hell to help you out with it, because there's a lot of confusion about this. No, it's not going to be an 8-hour stream.
No, it can't be. I have so much to do today.
We're just doing jury instructions. So we're going to go over that jury form a little bit, talk a little bit about it. We're not lawyers. We're just going to try to help out with some of the confusion to get you ready for tomorrow. Some of the things you might hear, give a little opinion, and then we're out. Like I promise, it ain't 8 hours. It is not 8 hours. Okay. Oh, I got to share it first, right? That would help you. There are days I love my Chromebook. There are days I hate my Chromebook. This is one of those in-between days. It's nice and big, and I'm going to unmute it.
Was designed and intended by Ms.
Whoop.
And number 6, due to the defamatory implication about Mr. Depp. And number 5, the defamatory implication was designed and intended by Ms. Heard. And number 6, due to the circumstances surrounding the publication of this statement, it conveyed a defamatory implication to someone who saw it other than Mr. Depp. And if Mr. Depp further proved by clear and convincing evidence, number 7, that Ms. Heard made the statement with actual malice. If Mr. Depp failed to prove any one or more of the 7 elements above, then you shall find your verdict for Ms. Heard with respect to the above statement. You shall only return your verdict for Mr. Depp on his claim for defamation about the following statement if he has proved by the greater weight of the evidence that number 1, Ms. Heard made or published the following statement. I had the rare vantage point of seeing in real time how institutions protect men accused of abuse. And number 2, the statement was about Mr. Depp. And number 3, the statement is false. And number 4, the statement has a defamatory implication about Mr. Depp. And number 5, the defamatory implication was designed and intended by Ms. Heard. And number 6, due to the circumstances surrounding the publication of the statement, it conveyed a defamatory implication to someone who saw it other than Mr. Depp. And if Mr. Depp further proved by clear and convincing evidence, number 7, that Ms. Heard made the statement with actual malice. If Mr. Depp failed to prove any one or more of the 7 elements above, then you shall find your verdict for Ms. Heard with respect to the above statement. You shall only return your verdict for Ms. Heard on her claim for defamation about the following statement if she has proved by the greater weight of the evidence that, number 1, Adam Waldman, while acting as an agent for Mr. Depp, made or published the following statement. Amber Heard and her friends in the media use fake sexual violence allegations as both a sword and a shield, depending on their needs. They have selected some of her sexual violence hoax facts as the sword, inflicting them on the public and Mr. Depp. And number 2, the statement is about Ms. Heard. And number 3, the statement was seen by someone other than Ms. Heard. And number 4, the statement is false. And if Ms. Heard further proved by clear and convincing evidence, number 5, that the statement by Mr. Waldman was made with
Is that me or you spinning?
It's spinning on my end too. Is it spinning out there for you guys? Damn it.
It is.
Holy crikey. Cut it out. Cut it out. Why is it doing that? All right. It should come in a sec. Nope. My internet says it's fine. My internet is not flinking, but it did go out earlier this morning. So I do apologize. I hope it's not on its way out. I hear it. I see you guys. I see you guys. Let me stop it and start it and see if we can.
I'm not even going to comment on the fact that you own a Chromebook.
Yeah, damn it. I've been streaming for more than a year with this thing, and it's only just started recently. It's like ridiculous. I don't know. I'm glad I still sound so calm and kind while I'm ready to pick up my Chromebook up and throw it out the window. All right. You know what? I'm stopping the stream. Anyway. All right.
Okay.
All right. My apologies. I'm going to tell you, if anything, what has just happened is I'm probably not going on vacation. I am probably going to buy a damn computer.
Go on vacation. That's ridiculous. Okay. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can figure something out.
I don't know. Maybe, what about on, wait.
I'm going to Uncivil now. Let me see. Okay, you guys, keep in mind, you guys, I do not know what the heck I'm doing. So let's just start there first.
I know. They're all telling me, get a damn Mac. I'm like, okay, I hear you. I do.
Like you have $6,000 to spare.
Well, you know, apparently you become official and they think you get rich around here. I don't know what to tell you.
Hey, you guys. We're going to try this. Mandy has no idea what she's doing.
Okay, but let me pull up your stream. If you put it at the bottom and then I'll put it up and we'll see if we can play it.
No, I was going to try to share because I have great internet.
That's what I mean. Share it and then I put it up. You have to say share screen. It'll pop at the bottom, but it won't let you put it up to the top. I got to do it. But it still comes out of your resources instead of mine, which is nice. I know, spin me round. I like that song, Adam, actually.
You spin
me right round, baby, right round, like a record, baby, right. Okay, stop. Nobody needs to hear us out of tune singing like that. Oh, come on, Faulty, it's not a potato. Don't talk bad to my laptop. It'll quit. It'll quit. Aw, thanks. Thank you. Dr. Nimrod says, 20 sec. Some sex for your Mac. Thank you. I shall put it in the fund. I shall.
Hey, you guys, I don't know what I'm doing. We're going to try this.
All right, here we go. All right. Okay, let me see. All right, you ready? It's all up. Here we go.
Did it work?
Well, I see a whole bunch of screens.
Okay, click on that one then.
I did. Oh, there you go. Now play it.
I don't know what I'm
No. Go back and play. Go back to the one that has his face on it. That one, and play it. And did you hit the box that said audio at the bottom of the? No, you didn't. Okay. Close out of it. Okay. Then why can't I hear him? All right. Try it again. All right. When you go share screen, at the bottom of it, there's a little tiny box. It's way down on the bottom of it, and it says share audio from tab. Okay.
I clicked it.
Okay, try again. All right, play. Maybe he's just not catching up. Put the volume up, maybe on the. I see his lips moving.
I can hear him.
You can, but we can't.
Okay. I love you guys. Thank you.
All right, I'm taking it down. Okay, try to share it again. Try one more time. Like, take it down. Share it again. Make sure you go to the bottom where it says share audio and click it, and we'll try one more time. Okay. All right.
Share. Share screen.
Now down the bottom of share screen. Wait.
Audio.
Okay, the little tiny box. Right. There we go.
Got it.
And we'll do it again. I don't know. It's Amber. You listen, my stream got botted before we even went live. So it's the turd minions. I blame turd. Okay. Thank you, Jen. Yeah, I'm kind of fond of you too. You're really funny. You make me smile. Thank you. I need a date. Okay, here we go.
And so,
I'm adding you to the stream.
Yes.
So and there we are.
The best case scenario for
heck?
the Johnny Depp
That's not us.
is if they can do with all of them, 1, 2, and 3. That's the best possible
now we can
scenario.
hear them, but we don't see them.
Any issue moot. So if they say
can you
yes
click
to 1,
on
2, and
the
3,
other tab? There you go. Thank you.
Because then they
Great.
follow the judge's instructions
Perfect.
on this and that. They said yes to all. That's what the written thing.
Okay, hold on.
It was good. It was perfect. I heard him and everything. Well, now you're cycling like I was.
Okay,
cycling.
hold on. I just backed it up a hair.
All right.
Oh, Lord, have mercy.
We will be able to hear and see Uncivil in a few moments. If you'll just be. Thank you all for being so patient and not like exiting stage left so quickly.
There's a mistake.
Okay. Yeah, let's listen to the mistake.
Yes. So the best scenario for the Johnny Depp's people is if they come back with all of them, 1, 2, and 3. That's the best possible scenario because it probably renders any issue moot. So if they say yes to 1, 2, and 3, then they should be covered, right? Because then they follow the judge's instructions both on this and that, right? Because they said yes to all. That's what the written thing says. And then they also said yes to 1 and 2 and 3. And that was also in the jury's in the system. So there is a way for them to come out with a verdict that's fully consistent with both sets of instructions at the same time. It's just that there are ways for them to reach verdicts that don't appear to be consistent with it. So if they say yes to 1, 2, and 3, great. If they say no to 1, that's a problem. Although 1 is their best case. So it would be a bit odd if the jury said no to 1 and yes to the other 2, because 1 is the best case for Johnny Depp, in my opinion. I mean, personally, as hypothetical juror, I'd be inclined to vote no on number 3. I think one is yes. Number 2, I lean strongly yes. And number 3, I think is no. Although I, as hypothetical juror, I'm not going to fight you about it. So if it comes down to the end of us in the jury room and there are 6 votes for yes for number 3, and it's me versus the rest of the jury, I'm not dying on this hill. We can all vote yes and move on with our lives. It's fine. It's not that big a deal.
Okay. So can everybody hear me?
I can hear you. Can the chat hear you?
I meant to pause.
Wait. Yeah, pause him. Hey, Uncivil, be polite. She paused you. Stop. There you go. Okay, he stopped now.
So what he's saying, where the confusion comes in, and this is where I want everybody to please go watch all of his video, is can they say yes on 1 and give him money? Can they say yes on 1 and 2 and give money? Can they say yes on 1, 2, 3 and give money? or I just saw 1, 2, 3 hoax. Sorry, I get sidetracked. Maybe I'm ADD. I don't think I am, but that was funny. So that's kind of where he was going, is the wording of it when the instruction was given makes it a little confusing as to, well, if they answer yes to 1 and 2, can they still go on to 4 and 5? But on the jury instructions that we're going to go through really quickly here in just a second, it says complete questions 4 and through 5 only if you answered yes to all of questions 1, 2, and 3.
Now, 1, 2, and 3 are about proving if it's true. Okay, remember
1,
what
2,
we
and 3
said.
are the actual questions. If here, let me get off here, and you can pull up the jury instructions, and we'll look at those.
Right. Yes.
So
Okay.
I'm going to stop sharing. Thank you for your patience, everyone. I'm so excited. I learned how to screen share
Yes.
today.
Yes. I'm so grateful that you did. I am. And you know what? Hey, you know what? A little bear. Like, I don't blame. I'm not a professional. Well, actually, I guess I have to say I am now, because you keep throwing sex at me, Dr. Nimrod and Arcanics. Thank you. Towards the shovel to bury to bury the glow book. Thank you very much, Arcanics. Okay. I will. I usually I had the super chats in a folder for donate, but today's that are designated for that purpose, I will make note and put them aside. I promise. I already have a fund over on the coffee thing for the new computer, but we'll see. I will put these over there. I promise you, if that's what you want me to do with it. Thank you, Arcanics. Arcanics 1971. Okay, but anyway, all right. So number 1. Okay, it is very specific. Okay, can you guys see this clearly? Just want to. I can't make it too big. Well, let me get little bit bigger, and I'll scroll down. It's probably better that it's bigger. And then we'll scroll down as we need to as we read. Okay, because that way you can see it better. Is that better?
Yes.
And yes, because right. So that's much better. Okay, because I don't even have to be on the other page. Okay, so now this is Mr. Depp's claim against Amber Heard. That's what I don't really want to go into the other one that much. This is the one that's important. The same rules apply for defamation. So here we go. All right, on this special verdict form includes each of the statements on which John C. Depp II bases his claim of defamation against Amber Heard. Answer the questions in accordance with the court's instructions, which she clearly said you need to answer 1, 2, and 3 yes before you go on to 4, 5, 6, and all the others. Okay, that is what the judge's instructions were. Okay, number 1, as to this statement appearing in the online op-ed entitled Amber Heard, I spoke up against sexual violence and faced our cultural's wrath. That has to change in the Washington Post online edition. Answer these questions. I spoke up against sexual violence and faced our cultural's wrath. That has to change.
Answer them in the chat.
Which one?
All of them.
Oh, okay. Oh, do you want them to answer them in the chat?
Yeah,
okay.
I'm curious.
Okay. All
be
right,
honest. Cool. Let's be real. What?
Mandy gave me, wait a minute, first super chat before I put up the question. Mandy, my own co-host, just gave us $5 to buy Chromebook. Thank you. Okay. And my favorite beaver, $2. Will you twerk on live for me in Binahan? No, I won't. There isn't enough super chats in the world to make me go on camera. Everybody knows that. Thank you for the $2. Don't forget your towel. Thank you for the fish. You know. Okay. I'm sorry, my audio is jumping.
Is my audio crazy or just hers?
Oh my God! It is it's the turds. It's a freaking conspiracy. All right, hold on. I know what to do. Dun dun dun. Is that any better? Please tell me if that's any better. Luke, is that any better? Here, you were the last one to say it's getting choppy. Robski, is it better? No? Hmm. All right, I'll tell you what I can do.
Okay.
It's the stream. It could be the stream, just because, we're having some cycling and the bar is going a little bit down. We're
Oh,
junk
that's better.
shopping,
That's
so it's
better.
not
Keep
really
talking.
okay.
Keep talking.
All right.
That's better.
All right,
That's
then
better.
I shall continue with the questions. Okay, let me tell you. Space time Bronx breaks apart. I know, true. Let's just call it. Let's just call it space junk. Okay, here we go. So, in the statement, I spoke up against sexual violence and faced our cultural's wrath. This has to change. Do you find that Mr. Depp has proven all the elements of defamation? Answer yes or no. If you answer questions 1A, no, don't go forward. So as soon as you hit a no, you stop. Okay?
Right.
All right. So the statement was made or published by Miss Heard. Answer in the chat, yes or no. The statement was about Mr. Depp. Yes or no. The statement was false. This is the part that we might get hung up on a little bit here. Okay, I say yes, it was false because he did not beat that woman. Okay, faulty humor. DKK for 20. Get yourself a new potato.
Oh, that's awesome.
Thank you. I'm a little embarrassed, but you all are so lovely. You really are. Thank you so much.
This is
You
not
really
meant
are.
to embarrass you. This is meant
I know.
laughter, humor mandatory, right?
Yes, that's my hashtag. Use it all. Humor mandatory. Okay. Listen, and I'll never stop. You know that trended like last week. I was so thrilled. I'm like, look, it's my baby. It was okay. So, all right. The chat is saying yes, yes, yes. What about you, Mandy? You say yes, yes, yes. I say yes, yes, maybe.
I say yes, but it's kind of in a backwards way, because if I take I spoke up against sexual violence and faced our culture's wrath, that has to change. I spoke up against sexual violence. That by itself is an interesting statement, because if you read the entire article, she did talk about, I believe, some sexual violence in her younger years. So she's trying to confuse with the statement. If they read the whole article, I'm concerned that because up until this point, she hadn't made any defamatory claims sexually about him. And I'm worried that if the jury reads the entire article where she talks about sexual abuse, not relating to Johnny, then that could cause some...
Right, and we're going to get to that. Let's
some questions. Yeah.
All right, so let's continue. So far, most of you have said yes, yes, yes to the first three. All right, was the statement has a defamatory implication about Mr. Depp?
And that's where they're going to have to say, even though she didn't name him, was enough evidence presented during their case to show that she was relating that article to him, and she verbally said it multiple times on the stand.
Yes, she did. Yeah.
So I would have to go with, if they read through the emails with the who was it? The lawyer at
the Marks, the industry lawyer, Richard Marks. No, the one that the agent had, the other lawyer, or
the ACLU.
The ACLU. Oh yes. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
If they read through those emails,
oh Lord, they know. They know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then I would say yes.
Yeah, yes, this definitely, and that would make the second part. Yes, because if you're going to pick up those emails, that's where this is too. The defamatory implication was designed and intended by Miss Heard.
Yes.
In other words, she was full well knowledge of what would happen to him if this happened.
That one's like 150%.
That's all. There's no doubt. There's no doubt. In my humble opinion, as a bear out here, just telling you what I think. No legal, there's just opinion. But yeah, damn, Amber did it. She did it on purpose. Okay. Due to circumstances surrounding the publication of the statement, it conveyed a defamatory implication to someone who saw it other than Mr. Depp. In other words, did anybody else who saw that think of Mr. Depp when they read it? I did. I'm not Mr. Depp. I did. Okay, so that's a yes for me too. And it doesn't look like too many people are arguing with this in the chat.
I think they can get past.
Now, all of these have to be yes for you to put. Here's the tricky part. All of those have to be yes for you to be able to answer number one. Yes. Exactly. Do you see that? Do you see how it goes? If you answered yes to each subpart of question 1A, answer the following question. Do you find that Mr. Depp has proven by clear and convincing evidence that Ms. Heard acted with actual malice? Because all of that up there proves malice. It proves that she intended it. When you put it all together, that's how you prove malice, not just one part of it. Do you see where they were going with that malice statement? You need it all. Okay, this is what I was trying to warn everybody, like, about the legalities being on her side, because this is the part that's so hard to do. You have to prove she actually meant every part of it, and every part of it's true, like, was not true, and that she did it on purpose.
Well, and the messed up thing is, even if I answered no legally to the question, I still think everything that she did is out of malice. Like, she's an evil person, so that's easy to prove.
Did Amber brush teeth today? Yes, and she did it ferociously and with malice, like, because she did. Yes, probably. I believe so. I believe her teeth felt assaulted. Yes, I do. No, I'm joking. So but I get what you're saying. Yeah,
I think 1A, 2A, 3A is going to be the hardest part. You're going to have to prove all of the elements of defamation and then go on. So if they can just get past 1A, it's very easy to go, was the statement made by Ms. Heard? Yes. Is the statement about Mr. Depp? Yes. Is the statement false? Yes. But they have to get that original 1A, 2A, 3A to be able to continue on.
But you know how they proved it? You know how they proved it? She recorded him for years. She photographed him for years. I'm looking. You guys know. You've seen what we've seen. You know how they proved it. You know they went and they proved that instead of helping him like she said she was, she took pictures of him in embarrassing, compromising positions and sent them to her friends. Okay, not to someone to help her, but to belittle and embarrass him.
I just want to know if he was puking all over himself and shitting himself all the time, how come she never got pictures of that? I just want to know.
Yeah, really. Right. What does she have to prove it? Melted ice cream. Like, wow, gotcha. Ooh, a picture of him relaxing on vacation and a picture of him sleeping on the floor. I'm not offended. It doesn't prove anything to me. Like, she says about vomit and tells him, oh, yeah, you just don't know. Well, what did you do? Clean it up, change his clothes, make him shower, changed his bed. And then when he woke up, it was all clean. So it wasn't there. So he didn't know. Like, I think he would know if he vomited on himself. Like,
when he woke up in the morning, just my
thought. Wouldn't it be on your clothes? Where is it? Where is it on the bed? Where is it? He was asking her where it was because it was nowhere around. Like, and she was like, you just don't remember. I think there's more. You need more than you just don't remember if you're talking about vomiting on yourself. Like, that's just not right. Well, she was just wrong. But anyway, we'll go to number 2. Let's just, for speculative purposes, let's just assume that everything was okay with number 1. You all agreed yes, and we can move forward. Because the way it is, if any of those answers were no, we can't go any further. That's the jury instruction.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So number 2, as to this statement appearing in the op-ed entitled "A Transformative Moment for Women" in the Washington Post print edition and the online op-ed "Amber Heard, I Spoke Up Against Sexual Violence and Faced Our Culture's Wrath That Has to Change" in the Washington Post online edition. Then 2 years ago, this statement, then 2 years ago, I became a public figure representing a domestic abuse, and I felt the full force of our culture's wrath for women who speak out. 2A, do you find that Mr. Depp has proven all the elements of defamation? Answer yes or no. When you look at that statement and she's talking about 2 years ago, okay, definitely Johnny Depp, right? I mean, come on.
I mean, yes, that this one's easier to prove, in my opinion, than the first one.
Mm-hmm. This
She
is it.
says 2 years ago. 2 years ago was 2016. 2016 is when she was, doing all that. So that one to me is easier to.
Yeah. This one to me is definitely a yes. I'm not going to say no. Okay. And so now I'm going to go down here to these. I'm saying yes. I don't know about you guys. Hello, Bob Dabacha. Hello. True says, Claire, this is his power. He won't wake up when she does something good for him. This is how much he hates her. I know. That's it, right? Yeah, she twists everything. And Sierra, welcome. Dare to be different, welcome. All right, so if you answered yes, please answer yes or no to the following questions. Has Mr. Depp proven by a greater weight of the evidence that the statement was made or published by Ms. Heard?
Yes.
The statement was about Mr. Depp.
Obviously.
The statement was false.
It's not false. It's true. So.
Well, it's true that she made it, but it means that the statement saying that she was a victim of abuse. That's what they mean.
That one, yeah.
That's.
They're all going to be tough. There's
right.
Being smart. There's reasons that you could say.
This is what I've been saying. That one little thing, the jury's perception on how you identify abuse and what actual abuse and what do you call domestic violence? Where do you get into the little intricacies of it? Did he have to hit her to be an abuser? Exactly. That's the problem. This is the problem. And I don't mean to depress you people. Don't come for me. But this is the legal problem. Listen, morally, I have no problem with saying that Amber's the abuser and Johnny is not. Okay, I have no problem, and I'll say it on any mountain you put me on anywhere, on any platform, with anybody I'm talking to. I will say that. But legally, okay, where Mandy and I's passion lies, although we're not lawyers, but we love this stuff. We eat it for breakfast every day. And I telling you, legally, there's an issue here, that it is up to the jury's perception of the definition of that and where they'll go with it. And everybody has a different opinion about it. And there are 7 people that get to decide, not us. Okay. So what the statement was false, that's going to be up for speculation. But I say the statement was false. She is not a victim of abuse, in my opinion.
Agree.
The statement has a defamatory implication about Mr. Depp. Yes, especially if the statement is false. Yes. Okay. All right. So I say that. Okay. Due to circumstances surrounding the publication of the statement, it conveyed a defamatory implication to someone who saw it other than Mr. Depp. Yeah. Because when I read it, I was like, what the? Yeah. Okay. Yes, definitely. I would say, yeah. Okay. So far. But if you answered yes to each subpart of question 2A, answer the following question. Do you find that Mr. Depp is proven by clear and convincing evidence that Miss Heard acted with actual malice? Yes. Have you met her? That's what why doesn't it say that, Mandy? Have you met her? Done and dusted. We would be out of court so quick if they got to answer that question. Have you met her?
Have you met her? Oh my God.
Hey, sometimes I can find the humor in these atrocious atrocities, these legal conundrums, but anyway. Yeah. All right. So on to number 3, because we're going to keep going. Yep.
Just stop for 2 seconds. So, Luke, I've been thinking about this one, and I've watched that video over and over and over again many different times. And I've slowed it down, and a couple things are really weird about it. So it sounds like to me, they both woke up in the morning, everything was fine. She may have left to go somewhere and came back because she was doing that baby voice thing where she's like, "What happened? What happened?" And she's like, "Nothing happened." And he's like, "Nothing fucking happened to you this morning." So
Mm-hmm.
so I understand. I'm so bothered by it as a wife
Mm-hmm.
that she didn't go, "Honey, is there anything that I can do for you? Or would you prefer if I just stepped away for a moment? It looks like you're going through something. Do you want to
Mm-hmm.
talk about it? Do you want to tell me what's going on?" You know, that's to me what a spouse would do when they see that something is obviously going on with their
Mm-hmm.
spouse. Yes, Bob DeBacha,
Mm-hmm.
he had just found out that
Mm-hmm.
a bunch of his money was gone, and at this point, they didn't even know the amount or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So when my husband has a bad day, I just be like, "Hey, babe, do you need to vent it out? Do you want to talk about it? Do you need 10 minutes to get your mind together?" She was awful to him. "What happened?" Talking in
Mm-hmm.
that voice. And she knew by getting that video
Mm-hmm.
that it was going to make him look bad. And in my
Yeah.
opinion,
Mm-hmm.
he, yeah, he beat up on some cabinets. I
Mm-hmm.
never felt like he was a threat to her.
Mm-hmm.
I never felt like he was directly
Mm-hmm.
going at her. And I just feel
Mm-hmm.
like the way that she approached him
Mm-hmm.
as her spouse was just absurd, in
I
my
agree.
opinion.
I agree with all of that. And I do, and I think that's a valid point. And I would like to say something about this issue that I've been dying to say. And Mandy hasn't heard this from me yet, so hope just approach it with a little grace, people. But just hear me out. Based on the legal issue, it's about the op-ed, correct? I mean, right, Mandy? Okay, it's
Yeah.
about the op-ed. Is the op-ed easily inferred to verbal abuse of any kind? No, it specifically talks about sexual assault and violence, like in striking, like in hitting.
Right.
Okay. So my question is, legally, do I have to contribute that, oh, he said some things? He said some things and he beat up some cabinets. But that's not what she was talking about in the op-ed, so I don't have to consider it. And as a juror, if I was there, that's what I'd be arguing. I would be arguing with all the other jurors there, saying that's not what she meant. That's not what she said in the op-ed, and all we have to consider is what she claimed in the op-ed, not
Right.
that. Not that, what they tried to throw at us. That's what they tried to throw at us. We have to make this judgment on the op-ed. And she was talking about sexual violence. Did she prove sexual violence, germs? No. Did she prove that he laid hands on her? No. So I would confidently go against everyone on the jury and
Right.
say, you can consider that personally, but legally as a juror, we don't have the right to. That's not what we've been asked to do. We've been asked to judge this op-ed, this defamatory statement. And nowhere in there did she say, Johnny called me the C word. Johnny was mean to me. Nowhere does it say that. It says
Right.
sexual assault. It says physical violence. And they didn't prove those issues. So I would confidently argue, I would be the holdout. I'd be the mistrial people because they wouldn't get me to go past that op-ed with their emotional feels of the whole thing, regardless of what Elaine tried to do, what Amber tried to do, what Rottenberg tried to do, or all of those people. Because if you look at the op-ed, it does not bring that up. Okay?
Right. And tell me this, because as you know, if there's people that I don't particularly care for, I don't watch them or listen to them. And I really didn't listen to Elaine's closing. She makes my head hurt. And I really didn't listen to all of Rottenborn's either. But from what I understand, or was it, there was one thing where he was talking about abuse, but he never even said sexual abuse.
Right.
Did you hear that, or was it in the final questions that he was asking her or something?
That's what put me down this line. I've been thinking it for a little while now, like this is, and then I heard the jury instructions, and then I read the op-ed again, and then I listened to what, because Rottenberg's a fox, man. He is evilly clever at what to put in somebody's mind, what he wants you to think. I mean, we watched him, witness after witness, trying to tell them what they were saying, okay, because what he wanted the jury to hear. Rottenberg didn't want to hear that sexual violence. He don't want them looking for that in the op-ed. He don't want them looking for the things you couldn't prove, do you, Roddy? No, you wanted it in there. What you did prove was that Johnny raised his voice and beat up some cabinets, and that's all you want them thinking about. But I'm sorry, too bad I can't talk to the jury. Too bad I can't, because I'd say, nice try, Roddy, but the fact of the law is, pay attention to the op-ed. That's what you've been asked to do. And I think the instructions have been pretty clear on that. Hopefully, when, they're going to come back Tuesday morning. And this is why I think it's going to be longer than we think. This is very hard to understand, what I'm reading right here. And I read this stuff every day. I feel for these jurors. I really do. At this point, after the long weekend and what they heard all week, and how fast everything happened on Friday, I'm sure they have no idea what to do when they get there on Tuesday morning. They're going to ask for those laptops, and they're going to start looking at everything, and then they're going to read these and start asking questions, starting with number 1, and they're going to ask the lawyers questions. And the lawyers have been asked to be within 10 minutes of the courthouse whenever they're in session so that they can answer questions. And I think they're going to ask a lot.
Yeah,
I know it is his job, Chesh. I agree. And he's really good at it. I tell everybody, I don't like him. I think he's got bad legal manners. But however, if I was guilty, I'd hire him. If I was guilty, he'd be my lawyer, because he'll do anything. He'll do anything. And he's really good at it. He's smart and he's good. Like, he's good at it. But not if I was innocent. I don't want to be represented that way if I'm innocent. Anyway. But anyway.
Okay, go ahead. While you're doing that, I'm going to go over to Chesh's channel real quick. So go ahead.
Okay.
I'm listening.
All
while
right.
you read.
Oh, what are you looking for? Her link for the science one? Because, she pulled up the stuff. You go grab it.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. So what did we finish for? Okay. We finished 3. We're on 3 now.
3.
We've done 2. Right. Okay. No, I do not, Miss Beaver. They ain't no part of me hard except for him. Stop it. Just stop it, woman. Just stop it. Okay. Number 3. As to this statement appearing in the op-ed entitled A Transformative Moment for Women in the Washington Post print edition and the online op-ed, Amber Heard, I spoke up against sexual violence and faced our cultural's wrath. That has to change. In the Washington Post online edition. The statement, I had the rare vantage point of seeing in real time how institutions protect men accused of abuse. Do you find that Mr. Depp has proven all the elements of defamation? If you answered 3, yes or no, I say yes. Because I still say yes, because she even made the statement that she wrote the op-ed about powerful men. And right before that, she said, Johnny Depp gets away with everything. Everybody's here to defend him because that's how it is. No, he doesn't have to pay for anything. She said stuff like that right before she did that statement about writing the op-ed about powerful men. She threw Johnny in it. So yes, I say yes. I say yes on this one. All right. If you answered yes, please answer yes or no to the following questions. Has Mr. Depp proven by greater weight of the evidence that the statement was made or published by Ms. Heard? Yes. The statement was about Mr. Depp?
Yep.
Yes. The statement was false?
Yes. And here's why it's false. She is trying to claim that institutions protected Johnny when he was accused of abuse.
Did he get fired?
Bullshit.
Bullshit. They dropped him like a hot potato. They couldn't run away from him fast enough. Man, he was swinging in the wind. A
Like
whole
2
career
days later, he
trashed.
lost his role. Give me a
Oh my
break.
God.
And they're trying to say, "Oh, well, it was a role that wasn't even done yet." Okay, just stop. Stop with that nonsense. If we're gonna
Hmm.
say that, then we need to say the same thing about
Right.
Aquaman. It's
Listen,
not even a movie that's done yet.
it's
So
right. And you know what? And listen, yes, he has friends who defended him and he had people who stood by him, but that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about the institution. And yes, the institution dropped him like a hot potato, blackball. They wouldn't touch
Right.
him. They want nothing to do with it. He was out. All right. So that statement has a defamatory implication about Mr. Depp. Oh, yes, it did. Yes, exclamation point.
yeah.
The defamatory implication was designed and intended by Miss Heard. Did she mean it?
Yes.
I do believe she did. I do believe she may have wanted this to happen. Yeah, I'd say yes. Double exclamation point. There you go. Due to circumstances surrounding the publication of the statement, it conveyed a defamatory implication to someone who saw it other than Mr. Depp. That would be me as a public reader. And yes, I do believe she meant it. Yes, I do believe she defamed him. Yes, I think she was talking about him. She knew what would happen. Yes, 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 yes. How
Yep.
about you, Mandy? Yes.
I
Any yeses?
agree.
Okay.
I mean,
I know.
it's gonna be just a little. If they can get past 1A, 2A, 3A,
Yeah,
then
down
it's
to you to
all downhill from
Yep.
there. I mean,
Okay, so
really,
here we
for
go.
her.
If
Yep.
if we get to this final one, remember all of them have to be yes. Okay, they're making us yes them to death. Oh my God! And most of the times I hate that, but in this case, I'm kind of liking yes, 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 yes. But if you answered yes to each subpart of question 3A, answer the following question: do you find that Mr. Depp has proven by clear and convincing evidence that Miss Heard acted with actual malice? Hail to the yeah. Oh, that's not an answer. Wait. Oh, yes. 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 Okay. Anyway, I know I'm a little bit biased about this. I do know the legal implications, as I clearly have laid out to you. I know this is an uphill climb. I really do. And I'm still only 80% there that they proved it, because it is that hard to prove. I can't stress that enough. Defamation is a hot ball of wax that can melt at any time. Not in your favor. Okay. It's
Well-
not, you have to prove it is not true at all. And in this case, and here it is. It has to be not true by easily inferred to anybody. Do you know what I mean? Not by all of us who saw mountains of evidence, okay? But
Yeah.
by those that didn't, because remember, the jurors only saw half of it. They didn't see a lot of what we saw. They didn't see a lot of it taken down and tore apart the way we did, stream after stream after stream, for 2.5 years now. They didn't get to see all that or witness that,
Yeah.
or her public behavior on any of it, or none of it. Okay. They didn't get to see her caught in lies over and over and over again. They don't even know how many times she submitted her deposition and had to pull it for the bullshit that she pulled. Or that all 3 statements are inconsistent in all 3 trials she's been in. They don't get that evidence like we do. Okay. So, it has to be clear. And that's why I can only go 80% that they proved everything, because when it came down to it, unless they've actually met her the way we met her over 2.5 years, they have no idea.
And
They
they
have
just
no
can't.
idea.
They just
Right.
don't have that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And that's
So
unfortunate. Mhm.
Before we go to
Thank you, Chesh. And to you too, because I remember way back with Karma when we started this ride, we were one of my first streams that I did. And don't think I don't remember, Cheshire. And it's in my playlist. I'm very proud of it. I am. Yeah.
it only took me 2 years to go on a YouTube
Yeah.
video.
And I love her, honey. And props to Mandy, because she just bit the bullet and brought her cognac voice self out here
my
for me. That smooth roll, she makes me look so bad. She's so cool. I know, but it's okay. I like being the rough ride next to your smooth one. It
my
kind of
gosh,
works.
hilarious.
It kind of works. It does. It works. I don't know. But
So
anyway,
while we're going on to the next, Amber's are a
Mhm.
lot quicker in my opinion. It's no, but we'll go to them.
All right, but
While Chesh is here, I wanted to go over to
Do you want me to pull something else up besides this 4 or 5? All right, wait. Let me just read this 4 and 5, because they only get to answer these if we did all of that above, and all of it had to be yes. You saw that, right? Not a single no. Not a single no. As soon as you get to a no, you stop. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Complete question 4 and 5 only if you answered yes to all of 1, 2, and 3. As against Amber Heard, state the amount of compensatory damages, if any, you believe John C. Depp II has proven by a greater weight of the evidence that he is entitled to recover. We, the jury, award, and they get to fill in an amount. Notice there's no check boxes. You don't get to put 50, 100, whatever. They get to put whatever the hell they want. I needed you to see this, people, because if we get here, that could be good. That could be very, very good. It could also, they could be reasonable and say, well, he only proved 40, but whatever. As against Amber Heard, state the amount of punitive damages. You see that word there? Punitive. Do you know what that means? Did Amber Heard put Johnny Depp through the ringer over all this? And is she guilty of doing it on purpose? Yes, she is. Here's some extra, Johnny. Go to the park. Yay! Here, pay your bills.
See, and with the compensatory damages, I have to be honest.
He didn't prove 50. He only proved
they really didn't. First of all, nobody knows if a Pirates 6 is even going to come out yet.
That's true.
So I feel like that one's a tough one to prove. It's not in the making. It hasn't been in the making. I do have a point that my husband made the other night that was fascinating to me, and I'll say it in just a second. But I believe that compensatory damages are a little bit harder to prove in this case. As far as punitive damages, I would just put a nice 7 mil right there.
I get the divorce. No, double it.
Because
I want the divorce. I want the divorce money plus. Because because then I want him to take half of that and just throw it over to the ACLU and the Children's Hospital.
No, I wouldn't give a cent to the ACLU after what they just.
No, I would, because you know what? Sometimes that middle finger is worth it, and that is a perfect middle finger to me. Like that is just. I don't know. Yeah. It was almost as good as Ben Chu trying to scratch his eye with his middle finger while he lay.
That was hilarious. So,
that was so good. I think
but anyway, Cheshire and I are more like F you people. Like F me once, shame on you. F me twice, shame on me.
But he doesn't need it. Like he doesn't need that money, right? And if he could use that money, because here's the thing: if he doesn't and pays it, because then he could show. Then I want to see the tweet. The difference between pledging and donating is actually paying the charity, and then put a copy of the canceled check.
Right.
Done and
so here's what my husband said, and it's kind of interesting because I just saw a comment.
All right, but anyway, okay. Go on.
Aniceto Maldonado, is that what the name is? Let me see. Let me go back up. Maldonado. Okay, my apologies. So my husband said this the other day. Even after Disney came out and was like bad-mouthing JD, they're still continuing to make an obscene amount of money off of his likeness, which I have major issues with. They're still using, him in their rides in Disneyland and Disney World and all of that. And so it's crazy to me that they would publicly denounce him and yet still use the character he created to make money. I think that there's something seriously wrong with that. So
listen, I do have to remind you though that we're not going to get with punitive, maybe if they added into compensatory, we can't get millions in punitive because of Virginia law.
It's maxed.
It's why it's maxed. Wasn't it curious? Didn't you find it curious as to why Elaine actually mentioned the exact figure of $350,000?
because that's the
Guess
max.
what? Guess what the max is in Virginia? Yes, for yes, it is $350,000. That's why
Right.
she mentioned it. But they're not going to get there unless they can prove all the stuff. So she was like throwing it out there, like, go ahead and give it to us, But they can't get there any more than we can get there, without answering all the yeses. You know what I mean? So it's not going to happen. I do not believe. You don't get to just give somebody punitive damages because they showed up to court, Elaine. Misleading the jury like that. Anyway, and thank you, Colin, because I was wondering why she said it, and I appreciate it. Thank you very much. There is the statute, and I'm looking right at it now. So there you go. There you go. So hey, I can't wait to. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to tell you this tomorrow morning, Randy. You're not gonna like it, but I'm gonna bring it to you. I'm gonna have to tell you tomorrow. But nope, that's true. Yes,
Okay,
and Cheshire, that's true. What Kyle's Goldfish is telling you is the ACLU actually filed in New York. They filed against Johnny Depp for asking them to come prove this shit and testify and prove where the money came from. They're trying to sue him for what they believe it cost them to have to do that. That is like out of control. We're going to cover that too. That's ridiculous about this case. Matter of fact, I'm going to bring that for tomorrow morning to entertain us while we wait, over
they're
there.
just pissed off because all of their lies got.
I am not
out.
kidding you, Cheshire. It is absolutely. I've seen it black and white with my own eyes. Go over to Fairfax. They filed it. They had to refile it in there. It's in there in the high profile part. It's all public. It's right there. It's unbelievable. They actually did that. That's how they are. And it's probably because the poor guy was squirming, so much. He had to tell the truth. And he was really trying not to lose donors. You don't want to be up there like talking about your donors and stuff like that in a court case. It could kind of look bad for sending like large amounts of money, especially someone like Elon Musk who paid millions and millions and millions for this woman. Okay. We're just trying not to piss anybody off, Yeah, I know we are. Okay, so let's go over. Where did you want to go next? All right, so we're done with.
Just keep reading.
Okay, so we're going to go down to Amber now. I'm going to have to say Amber a lot now, and I apologize for my tone. I'm going to get there, people. Special verdict form. Miss Heard's claim against Mr. Depp. This special verdict form includes each of the statements on which Amber Heard bases her claim of defamation against John C. Depp II. Answer the questions in accordance with the court's instructions. As to this statement appearing in April 8, 2020 online edition of the Daily Mail, and I quote, Amber Heard and her friends in the media use fake sexual violence allegations as both a sword and a shield, depending on their needs. They have selected some of her sexual violence hoax facts as the sword, inflicting them on the public and Mr. Depp. Do you find that Ms. Heard has proven all the elements of defamation? Yes or no? What are the elements of defamation? The statement cannot be true. It has to be false, right? That's one of the elements of defamation. You have to have put it out there publicly with knowledge that it's false, okay? You have to do it with malice, intending to hurt the other person, and you have to prove damages that were caused, by that being put out there. Caused you damages because she's a celebrity, okay? And so is he, all right? Do you guys think that she proved any of that? No. Okay. No. Yes, he said it. Adam Waldman said false? It. No. No. Especially not with the evidence we saw. It was a hoax. The penthouse incident was a hoax. There is actual footage from the body cam of the police officers that prove none of that damage was there until after they left. So what are we supposed to believe? 5 people willing to lie for their friend, who, by the way, are no longer talking to her. Sus is AF. Sus
yeah,
AF.
And what was the comment that one of them made that basically she's just too much? It's just too much to be in a friendship with her, basically.
And Colin brings up a good fact that Mr. Waldman was acting on his own. It really didn't have agency. It doesn't say in here, like, my client this or that or whatever. He's allowed to have free press. And I understand he was his attorney and they can infer agency. I get it. But they're not even asking about that in number 1. Okay. They're not. Okay. It went to the jury. They're just allowing it to go to the jury. Okay.
Yeah, because I think it would be easy to infer that.
I think
he made those statements on behalf of his client. But if we're going to use that analysis, then we also have to go, well, hold on a minute. All of the things that Samantha Spector said about Johnny would have been.
And Johnny could have sued for the same reason. But here, let's go.
Right.
I will not say that he acted on Johnny's behalf, but I will say that what he said was based on information that Johnny gave him. We have to admit that. Because he didn't have a relationship with Amber to know all of this. He only had one with Johnny. And that's what they're talking about, that it was client, attorney, information, back and forth that made this statement. Okay? That's where it's coming from. All right? That relationship.
Exactly. Dare to be different. Exactly. Period. End of story. If the statements are true, then it's not definition. 150%.
It's not. I love you for that.
And he believed them to be true with the information that he had.
Right. So they have to prove it. They have to prove it false. And we're not going to say it's false because we saw evidence that that it's true. It was a hoax. Right. Okay. So if you answered yes, please answer yes or no to the following question. Has Ms. Heard proven by a greater weight of the evidence that Mr. Waldman, while acting as an agent for Mr. Depp, made or published the statement? Now, here's what this is important.
I'll give it a yes. I'll say yeah. Go ahead. Okay, sure.
Only because if you're a juror and you don't have all of this, you don't have everything that we all had, could you easily infer that Waldman works for Johnny and perhaps that he was an agent of his? Yes, that's easily inferred. Okay. We're not asking, did Johnny tell him to do it? They don't say it that way. They say an agent. And I think that easily a jury's going to be able to say yes to this.
But we wouldn't even get there because we already answered no up top. So
that's right. We're done. We're done. We just walled it up and we threw it out the window. Yes, we were done.
I made paper airplane out of this one. So,
but the jury, 7 people that didn't get to see everything over the last.
So let's say they say yes, that she proved the elements of defamation. Right. Then you have to go down to the questions and say, is the statement false?
Right. Well, was the statement about Miss Heard? Yes. Right. You're screwed. Right. Was the statement about Miss Heard? Yes. Was the statement was seen by someone other? Yes. Was the statement false? No.
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 So even if they say that she proved an element of defamation because it could have caused some sort of harm to her, right? So when you would get down to is the statement false, unless you know with clear and concise, unless you know clearly that the statement is false, then you would have to say no. So then even if you answered yes at 2A, you would hit no on the statement being false. So.
Exactly. And so when you get down here that they say clear and convincing evidence that the statement by Mr. Waldman was made with actual malice, well, I think he has actual malice for Amber, but not about these. I say no. There's no.
Right.
No. Okay.
Hold on.
And so
at my door. I'll be right back.
No problem. So normally we would have to stop here, but just for shits and giggles, let's carry on and see what the jury would have to read. Okay. Just so, So as to this statement appearing in the April 27th, 2020 online edition of the Daily Mail, and I quote, "Quite simply, this was an ambush, a hoax. They set Mr. Depp up by calling the cops, but the first attempt didn't do the trick. The officers came to the penthouses, thoroughly searched and interviewed, and left after seeing no damage to face or property. So Amber and her friends spilled a little wine and roughed the place up, got their stories straight under the direction of a lawyer and a publicist, and then placed a second call to 911. Now here, he's not they're just first of all, we know that call was the officers didn't see the damage anyway. Even the second set of officers. So there you go. But on this, do you find that Ms. Heard has proven all the elements of defamation? If you answer to a no, please proceed to question 2. But I'm going to say no, but I'm going to actually proceed anyway. Okay. I don't think that she proved defamation there. If you answered yes, please answer yes or no to the following questions. Has Ms. Heard proven by a greater weight of evidence that Mr. Waldman, while acting as an agent for Mr. Depp, made or published a statement? I would say no, but they may say yes. Was the statement about Mrs. Heard? Yes, it was. The statement has been seen by someone other? Yes. Is the statement false? No. Okay. If you answered yes to each subpart of question 2A, answer the following. Do you find that Ms. Heard has proven by clear and convincing evidence that the statement by Mr. Waldman was made with actual malice? He don't like her, but he didn't lie.
Okay, thank you. Sorry.
It's okay. I'm done 2. I'm on to 3. I'm going to go to 3 now. I can't help it. The snark in my voice, like I can't even stand the sound of my own voice right now when I'm speaking about him. But like, it's just, it'll be good when this is over and I don't have to say that name anymore.
Oh my gosh. What will we do?
God, I don't know. We'll find something. There's a whole bunch of hot mess out there to cover. All right. As to this statement appearing in the April 27, 2020 online edition of the Daily Mail, and I quote, "We have reached the beginning of the end of Miss Herb's abuse hoax against Johnny Depp. Period. Do you find that Miss Heard has proven all the elements of defamation? No. If you answered yes, answer yes or no to the following. But I know, because I'm tired of yelling it. If you answered yes, if you answer 3A no, proceed to 4. But I did say no, but I'm going to pretend I said yes. Okay, and then we'll just go again because I like getting to the last one. It really works for me. If you answered yes, please answer yes or no to the following. Mr. Waldman, while acting as an agent for Mr. Depp, made or published a statement. Well, he did publish it, and yeah, he did work for him. So if I'm the juror, I say yes. The statement was about Miss Heard. Well, obviously, that's the liar we're talking about. Yes. Okay. The statement was seen by someone other than Miss Heard. Oh, everybody. Yes.
I never saw the statements.
You didn't see those on Twitter? Oh, my.
I mean, I never saw them when they were written.
Oh, so no, we saw them when they passed them around, though, for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I find it interesting that Johnny never saw them, or he alleges he never saw these statements until she
brought it up.
Countersued him. Yeah. So.
Okay. Was the statement false? Yeah.
Nope.
No, it wasn't. He's not lying. She did do that. She did that. Have you met her? Come on, how do you have any doubt? Have you met her? Oh my God. So if you answered yes, and they're going to tell us, is it clear and convincing the statement by Mr. Waldman was made with actual malice? No, he was telling the truth. How can you have malice with truth?
Right. And you have to understand, and I agree with Luke in this, if those jurors decide to start listening to audio, it's hours and hours and hours of audio that they could or couldn't listen to. So I mean, I would not be surprised if it went into Wednesday or Thursday. It's just personal opinion if they choose to listen to that audio.
Exactly. And here we are again down to 4 and 5, where we'll do compensatory or we'll do punitive. And as much as Elaine would like you to agree that $350 would be nice for Amber to be able to, like, I guess, pay off one of her contributions to something she agreed to do prior, if she hasn't, or maybe to guarantee that the lawyers get paid. I don't know where Elaine was coming from, but you have to actually get here for punitive damages for $350,000 to be awarded. So sorry, Elaine, I couldn't do it. I couldn't get there. There were quite a few no's in this one for me. Based on the evidence and my biased opinion, which I admit is very biased. I am trying to look at the facts. I do recognize the legal implications, and I've clearly laid them out for you. This is really, really hard to prove. I get the risk. I'm just hoping, really, really hoping that other 20% that we have to leave up to the jury to decide for themselves, that they do the right thing, that they see it, that they see what happened here, and that they don't believe her. and they see the wrong of it and they try to do the right thing. But then again, they got to go by law. And even though something appears to be so completely morally wrong and objectified in everything else, and it was like everything you think about it, it just can't be. When it comes down to a juror being told that they have to look at it in black and white and find the legality of it, that's tough. That's rough. And lines get blurred and people don't want to cross them. So we have to wait and see. And it's not going to be easy. I don't envy those jurors. I really don't, Mandy. As biased as of course, I'd never get on the jury as biased as I am. They would ask me one question and they would be booting me right out the window. But yeah, no. I even if I tried to fake it, they would see it. You know what I mean? Like there was no way I could hide it after everything I saw. But I don't envy them. Do you? I mean, I don't know how they can do it. I don't.
No. It's
It's
tough.
going to be.
I mean,
It's
they're
tough.
really
Mhm.
putting
Mhm.
a lot on somebody's plate. And I found it interesting. One of the lawyers said, and my Beavers unit, tell me if it was on Tug's
Was-
channel,
I
but
think
one of the lawyers said, if we're talking about a jury of their peers, it's really tough to look at the 7 people that were selected as actual peers of Johnny Depp and Amber, because they live a different life than a
Mhm.
lot of us do.
Mhm.
Most of us,
Mhm.
little people. So there could be a lot of factors that can be thought of in this. In my opinion, one of the things that sort of stuck out for me is, oh, boo-hoo, look at the millionaires fighting with each other. You know what I mean? It's like there could be a possibility that somebody on
Mhm.
that jury just doesn't have a lot of sympathy for either of them.
Mhm.
You're going around blowing $160,000 in wine in a year. Are you kidding
And,
me?
and
Normal
calling your partner an alcoholic through your lawyers,
Yeah,
like
people like
rich,
us,
rich. Oh God. Oh, I'm sorry. Go on.
people like us who are in the trenches might have a hard time justifying the millions upon millions upon millions
Mhm.
of dollars that right now are being,
Mhm. But based on that goes against them too. Because as you know, as much as she tried to say that everybody that goes through abuse like hides it, and tries to deal with it a different way, the amount of exaggeration she did about the injuries, and this is what her downfall was. Her disorders are, this is again my personal opinion. Let me just cage it with that. But when that Dr. Curry, such a lovely Dr. Shannon Curry, who spoke to us in regards to borderline personality disorder, histrionic personality disorder, and Amber's need to exaggerate every detail just to make it even more glorious for her and bask in that light a little bit, that she just can't keep it straight. That was proved over and over again. And it was that did her in when she started describing her instances of abuse, when she played her story for the jury out there and tried to get them to believe every word she said, because there wasn't no evidence about what she said. It's just her word. All of that exaggeration, all that did was make you start to wonder, if your nose was broke, you had 2 black eyes and broken ribs, why didn't you go to the ER? You are a wealthy woman. The man wasn't near you. You had friends. You had availability. You could have had somebody come to the house and check you out. You had the way to keep it private. You did have the means to keep it to yourself and still get yourself taken care of. Okay? You did. And that other story about the bottle, no way was that true. No way did that happen. And you did not seek attention from anyone. There's no way. There's no way a reasonable person can believe that. I'm a reasonable person. I felt guilty at first listening to the stories and doubting them, because no one wants to doubt a victim. It's against our nature.
Yeah.
It's against our nature. It's against mine. I won't speak for you all, but it damn well is against mine. I wanted to believe, if somebody's going to say it, that it happened. And if they say it with such conviction that some of it's true, but when you get to those parts with the exaggerations, and then you want to throw in that you stepped on a bee and I'm supposed to give a damn, like, girl, woman, please cut me a break. What kind of an idiot do you think I am? Or all of us? Like, really, get some help. Get some help for this woman, because that was such damaging to every victim out there. What she's done with this case in regards to all the other cases coming up is a crime. That's what I got to say. Maybe not legally a crime against humanity. There. Not a crime.
Luke had
legally.
a funny comment, said if dogs could talk, that Yorkshire Terrier would sue for
that
defamation.
dog would have. That's right. That dog would have testified against Amber Heard. He would have said,
like, how dare you blame me for your poop? Yeah.
The dog with the poop, even the one with the bee. My dog stepped on a bee and I got all upset. That dog would have showed up and said, there was no bee. What are you talking about? And the dog with the poop is like, that wasn't mine. You know you did that, girl. You know that was you.
And her story, her story about the dog getting into Johnny's weed and then having bowel problems, I was like, hold on a second.
Exactly. Could the turd testify, please? Because I call foul. Bring the turd. Like, come on, man. He is so ridiculous. It is so ridiculous. Oh my God. I just can't. But no, that's And we're laughing because we're so punchy.
She's just like, that's just one of those things with her. It's like, in my opinion, you'd be better off just being like, yeah, the dog was old. It, had some bowel problems, but of course she had to turn it that somehow the dog's bowel problems was Johnny's fault because he left his weed out and the dog got into the weed and now he's got these bowel problems that led to it shitting on the bed. It's just, her stories are just so, like, I know a lot of people, and it's not THC, mind you, but I know a lot of people that give their pets pet CBD, especially now that it's being proven that it helps with anxiety and pain management and stuff like that in animals. It's just, her stories are just so weird.
When they said how big that dog was that supposedly did
like
that
2
poop,
or 3 pounds, isn't it?
Yeah, that poop was half the size of that dog. There's no way it came out of that dog. There's no way it came out of that dog. That dog be dead if it pooped. That would be pooping out his whole innards. Like,
right.
And there's no way. There's no way.
Follow, I do, you do, but if you guys follow Chesh on Twitter, she posted pictures last night of here's just another thing with Amber, of Amber with the coffee mug, and then I posted under her post with the coffee mug, it was like, that coffee mug is Amber's, but because it was Johnny's production team, she tried to make it out to be Johnny that was setting the scene, and the picture of all the pot with the coffee cup in front of it, like, yeah, we all knew that we had seen pictures for years of Amber walking around with that coffee cup. I mean, I've seen it a million times.
You know what? Amber submitted evidence of her own, like, multiple times with that coffee cup, with her holding it, including in the I beat up the kitchen, video.
Yeah.
Because yes, Johnny's guilty of abuse of kitchens. I mean, I'll give him that. He can bash a mean cabinet. Who has it? I've destroyed a bathroom, big whoop,
And seriously, I thought about this too. Like,
damn, that towel rack had it coming.
I can't imagine somebody pulling my texts from when I was going through my stuff with my ex-husband. Like the things I wished upon the poor man, which I'm over now, everyone, just so you know. But it's like, can you imagine? And this is the thing. Rottenbaum is trying to pull up all of these messages about
not
how
one of them
Johnny
to Amber, by the way.
They weren't to her. Exactly.
They weren't to her. They were to his friends. He was venting. Gosh, if you all get my friends' DMs, I'm venting about shit. Like, I mean, a lot. Like, I don't speak kindly about some things. Hey, it happens. You should have to be able to do that. Not one of them was to Amber. Not one. Like, but that's the thing. What I mean about Rottenberg was to put out there what he wants to put out there. He says one thing, and if you actually look at it, it's something else.
Yeah.
Amber, insert Twitter account called Amber's Travel Mug. That's a travel blog, by the way. Yeah, that would be pretty good. Actually, it would. Okay, so Kyle had some good things here I wanted to show you because, we like Kyle's goldfish back and forth, and Intrigue Feline have been keeping me back and forth, well informed. We're getting the information out there in the chats and stuff, and it's been great, along with Mandy when she can, because she's working during the day. But Kyle said, I have 3 concerns about the jury. 1, even after 6 weeks, they don't know what we know. And yes, we've been saying that, and we hear you, right? Do you have the same concern? I think Chesh does. I think Intrigue Feline. I think all of you in the chat that have been following this case, don't you have the same concern? The jury didn't see what we saw on the socials, on the other YouTube channels, all of that evidence that didn't get in. Okay. I'm worried they will feel they have to believe some of Amber's claims because she couldn't possibly make all of it up. Now I got to go find number 3. Okay.
Oh, I'm like, where's number 3? I had to scroll up.
No. Go answer number 2. What do you think about that one? While I go look for the other one.
Yes. So to number 1, even after 6 weeks, they don't know what we know exactly 100%. And that's why I've been trying, although not easily, to just look at the evidence that has been presented to them. So that I've been really trying. Number 2, here's where that really got drawn for me is Camille definitely made it a point of saying if she lied about 1, if she lied about 2, if she lied about 3, then basically we have to consider that she lied about it all. And I think Camille did
a good job of that. She had her actually try to wiggle out of it, which proved to the jury that that's what she was trying to do all along.
Right.
That was beautiful. By the way, Camille, I bow. You let Amber's words speak for themselves louder than you could even. You asked the right questions. Put her on the spot. And we watched her wiggle. Did you not? She turned to the jury and she says, no, that's not what I mean. Blah, 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 blah. Listen to me. Listen to only me. Everyone else is lying. Every single person who testified is lying except for me. They said, are you calling him a liar? No, I'm just saying that didn't happen. I'm just saying it didn't happen. I'm like, well, you're not calling him a liar? No.
Well, and when she was like, okay, if we believe you, then we have to not believe. Boom,
all those
boom. And she listed them, and I was like, that's powerful. And she could have listed more because basically Amber said that Christian Carino was lying. Amber said that
he wasn't even his agent anymore. He was her agent. Why would he lie? Like, he was her agent. Like, she stayed with him. Johnny left Christian. Okay, and went with the other guy. They separated, and he stayed with Amber for a while. Why would he lie? I don't know.
Kyle's goldfish number 3 says, will they be strong enough to say they don't believe someone claiming to be a victim for fear of retaliation or not believing victims?
And I hear this loudly because I struggle with this. Like I said before, let me keep it back up. This is a bone of contention because this is rough. This is what they personally believe, which no matter how much as a jury you try, you got to bring all that with you. You're in there. You're yourself. It's your thoughts. It's your things. What do you turn all that off? I don't think so. There is a certain level of bias that will accompany everything they think and see and do. Right. Do you agree? Yeah. I mean, this
but if they believe. So here's the thing also that's interesting to me. If let's just say they pulled up all the pictures and they started looking through the pictures of the evidence, granted, there's been a few times where we've seen some blacking around eyes, some stuff like that. But here's what we haven't seen. We haven't seen swelling. And if these horrific things happened with a man that was wearing rings on all of his fingers, why was there never any swelling? Why was there never any evolution of bruising? Why, why did we not see these normal things? As to when you look at Johnny's pictures, you can see swelling, you can see a welt on his face, you can see discoloration, you can see bruising, you can see the evidence that those are, valid injuries. So, sorry, I had to cough. So as far as with the evidence being presented to them, if I didn't know anything about this case and I was just looking at the pictures, I would tend to lean toward believing Johnny because of his pictures were never questioned for authenticity. His questions, I mean, Amber tried to say, oh, that's photoshopped. And then they came out and said, oh, if that one's photoshopped, so is this one that's hanging in the hotel, right? So the authenticity of his pictures never came into play other than Amber's words, whereas the authenticity of her pictures did come into play. So I think that that's also another powerful thing in favor of Johnny.
And that's what I'm hoping, that even if they feel this way, when instructed to obey the law and what can be proven, that they will go on the side of what did she prove in court, and she didn't prove it. And that's like Chesh mentioned that in there. That's where I was going to go to next. Like after saying, yeah, you're going to feel it, you're going to bring it, but they are clearly instructed to go by the letter of the law and to do it like that way. And I hope that they take that part very, very seriously. I would. Because, great respect for the law. It's my thing. I love it. I would take it so seriously. I probably wouldn't sleep until we deliberated and got it all done with. But seriously, I hope that they will follow the letter of the law. And the letter of the law says she didn't prove abuse at all, which makes her statement false. She did not prove what she said in the op-ed: sexual violation, domestic violence, hands on. She didn't prove any of that. Okay. Did Johnny raise his voice? Yes. Did Johnny beat a cabinet? Yup. He even beat up a wall sconce in the bathroom. Oh my gosh. Threw some paint around. Like, this was a toxic relationship. If all these years, all these pictures that she's talking about, all these things happened, and this is all she has with that toxicity level of that relationship, man, does he have a lot of patience. I do believe he walked away every time she got out of hand. I do believe he found a safe space to protect himself. That is the way he was raised. That is what he lived through. That is his way of dealing with it. Okay, I believe that happened. I believe he tried to go, and I believe she came for him every single time.
And
that's
we heard that evidence.
We heard him do that.
She pulled at him. She followed him to elevators. She held elevator doors open. She did all of these things.
Nope. I'm so, I'm telling you that part. I do hope they stick to the legal part of it and prove that part, because as far as I'm concerned, legally, there is no counterclaim. It's demolished, and well done. Well done, Camille and Ben and that whole team. Well done. It's demolished.
If I were the jury, I would go in and say, let's get the counterclaim out of the way right now, because that's going to take a lot shorter time to come to, in my opinion. Let's look at Amber's stuff first, and then let's go back to Johnny's claims, because in my opinion, Adam Waldman had enough evidence at the time to believe that the statements that he made were true with the information that he had. I do not believe that that could be malicious, and it cannot be defamation. He was going off of the evidence that he had at the time, period. So then I would do that, and then go back to now we need to really, really look at Johnny's case and see where we stand on that.
Thank you. Let me just show you what Ranty is saying here, because I would definitely want to get your permission to do this first, because it's not a decision I would make without Mandy. But he is saying that we should stream on his channel to get the exposure. Ranty has blown up since this is
Oh, yeah,
happened.
I saw.
Yeah,
That's
you know,
awesome.
yeah.
I
We
like when
can
he puts
talk.
up
Yeah.
polls and like 100,000
Oh
people
no.
respond to his
Yeah.
polls. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, that is an awesome, very magnanimous gesture, and we can talk after stream, Ranty, and we'll see, and like we can mirror whatever you would like to do. I think it would help you too. There were some legal issues here, and a little bit of fun and bantering that they may find amusing. But I don't know how much of the stream you saw, but I appreciate it. We'll talk right after this. If I think Mandy's thinking it's okay, so we'll talk. But anyway, on that, with Kyle's question, we kind of went with that. If they stick to the legal, like you said. But I want to address something that James said in here. And some of the other men, and like I hate to like keep getting on this soapbox, but I think Mandy will give me a little patience here on it because it is something we both feel strongly about. The way that Amber went about trying to just turn it around, that Johnny was the one that was so obsessed with her, and that Johnny was the one that was not letting things go, and Johnny was the one that was doing all of this. And when it was clearly her, by actual things that she did, even in the courtroom, did we watch her mimic his clothes to get under his skin? You know, did we watch her do that? Okay. When she sat there and said, I need to get my voice back, when she's the one that's been screaming since 2018 about this, who is up on the podium all the time for the ACLU as an advocate, talking about how she was violated, how this horrible thing happened to her by him over and over and over again? Did you see Johnny out there doing that? I didn't. What voice is she talking about that people stifled? The one now where we saw the evidence, where we said, Amber, I call foul. You're a liar.
Right.
You mean the voice now in 2022, all the way now, this time when everybody's turning the tide and supporting Johnny instead of you, this is the voice you're talking you want back? Yeah, you can. As soon as you apologize, you can have your damn voice back.
She never once, not once, really took responsibility for her part in any of this. Oh, yeah, I hit him, but I didn't really mean hit. And Johnny takes it out of, bitch, we heard you. We heard you saying, you're a effing baby. I didn't punch you. I hit you. We heard it. And then her analysis of when she made the statement about tell the world, Johnny, tell them that Johnny Depp, blah, blah, blah. And she goes, well, I just thought it was absurd that he would even say such a thing because of the years that the 5 years that he beat me. I'm like, you're still not taking any responsibility for the part you played. And if the jury picked up on any of that, I believe that they will be like, she's not remorseful. She's 100% everything Dr. Curry was saying. She showed no, the other thing that really got me, you want to talk about somebody with PTSD. Somebody with PTSD doesn't stop crying when somebody says objection. Did you guys notice that?
Did you notice no tears? Oh gosh, oh my God, the best moment when the acting teacher has to actually state, like, oh my God, like nobody likes it. I'm sorry, you've met her. We understand why all her witnesses ended up actually saying something to support Johnny's side. No kidding. You could go back into every single one of their testimony. You'll find something, because passive aggressiveness is a thing. It's human nature. So the acting teacher, right, who's no longer her acting coach, by the way, actually puts out there, Amber always found it impossible to cry when she was acting. Like she can't do it. She can't do it. Where were the tears? Luke, Bearded Heretic, in our very first stream about this, said, look, Claire, watch. She won't be able to cry. They can't do that. They can't do that when they're doing this. She'll play it up. Facial expressions, body motion. She'll have the words. She'll have everything. But there won't be a tear. And there wasn't until she did that little sniff thing and poked her eye a little bit. I did kind of see a little bit just once, like a little bit in one corner, and I did see that. Like, like the one time, but another, it just really, really, really annoys me. That she might get away with it. Like, I can't even wrap my mind around it. But anyway, Arcanix has this great quote here when she said, "I just want to get on with my life." Fox sob. Yes, like really fake. "But he won't let me." Okay. We've been there. We saw it. Okay. Amber Heard filed for divorce on Johnny Depp the day he finally, when the poop happened. Okay. When the when the shit hit the bed instead of the fan, okay, that was Johnny's last straw, right, Mandy? And he said, "I'm done." He never again went into that penthouse with her, okay? Gone. He left. He's done, okay? That happened in that May, all right? He walked away. What did Amber do? She got a lawyer the very next day to sue him, send a threatening letter. "I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that, I want all of this stuff." A whole week's worth of stuff. Like, "I want 3 penthouse. I don't want 1 penthouse. I want 3. I want the Range Rover I'm driving around in. I want everything paid for on these penthouses. Everything you're already paid for. Pay for it all. Pay for all of those penthouses for my friends too. Okay. And I want $100,000 for my lawyers by Friday. And I want $50,000, was it, Mandy? $50,000 in that letter for the forensic accountant, just so, and because it's California, we all there, just so I can make sure I get every damn penny I can from you, sir. And if you don't, by Friday, I'll be at the court filing a domestic violence claim against you." It says it in the letter, people. I do not make it up. Okay? It says it. I might be not even exaggerating. The words are there. I may be speaking them with more oomph than she did, or that they wrote, but it was there, okay? Because what did she do? Because he didn't give in immediately, she did go and file that. And from that day forward, she has done nothing but interfere with his life. She didn't want her life back. If she wanted her life back the day he walked out of that penthouse, why wasn't it over? Why did she keep coming? And then when she got the divorce and she got all that money and she had everything, why the hell did she go out of her way with that op-ed? The op-ed got cleaned up in those emails, did it not, Mandy? Did I read correctly? I read like so many emails in that process between the ACLU, the lawyer, and Amber, and the PR people. Everybody was cleaning it up. What was the last thing that Amber said in the final email? If there's a way to get him back in there, it makes a better story, and I'd like to see it done.
Yeah.
Come on. Come on. Is that walking away? Is that trying to get your life back? No, that's going out of your way to mess with somebody. I mean, come on. That's not trying to get your life back. Is that walking away? Don't look like it to me.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Chesh, I'm going right now while Claire looks through the chat because she's been proposed to. So hold on.
What? I'm being proposed to? Wait a minute. What am I missing? Listen, I'm sorry. Whoever it is, I appreciate the gesture. I'm not even going to look for a name, but whoever you are, I am. I can't. I'm going to just tell you this. I am. Although lonely, I will never go that route again. Although I'll admit, it's not so easy right now, but I'm sorry, whoever you are. I won't even look at your name because it's not about you. Believe me, it's not you. It's me. No.
He's laughing. All right.
It's not you. It's me. It's definitely a no, and it's all on me. It's definitely me. I am an asshole. I'm never doing that again. Okay? I can't. I just can't. They have married me off several times in chat. Okay. All right. Well, hey, we could. Hey, I'm not adverse to pretending for a weekend, all rights and privileges, but hell, no real rings and none of that legal shit. Just like, okay. All right, I'm having too much fun. Leave me alone, people. Leave me alone. Oh my God. I know. You're cracking me up. Oh my God, you guys are all too funny. So what'd you find? What'd you go running over to Cheshire's to find? I'm going to watch your video, Chesh. I just didn't get a chance to. Listen,
well, that's what we're going to do right now.
Chesh, let me just say this, Cheshire. You got a hell of a nerve to be so damn prolific like this when I've got like no time to keep up with you. Like I can't even watch all the stuff you've been putting out lately. I got not that many hours in the day. Yeah. Like, yes, and kudos to you. That is actually a compliment. I'm glad to see you do it, girl. You do you, boo. you know, and I will watch. I watch. I watch it. You could talk to me later, quiz me. Whatever.
All right,
oh,
ready?
Oh no, Sandy doesn't want to marry me. That's okay. But I'll never leave you, but I'll never marry you. It's okay. I like that. I want somebody to never leave me, but never marry me. That sounds perfect to me. Actually. All right, where are we at?
I think I got it.
Are you back? Okay, because... oh, gosh. I know. Mm-hmm.
Why is it not sharing? Do you know?
Oh, I forgot to tell everybody. Oh, because I didn't put it up. That's why, because I didn't do my part. There you go. I did want to tell everybody I can't marry anybody. I'm still engaged to Aaron. We got engaged on Twitter like about a year ago. Like, all right, let me mute. You play. Can you play it?
Okay. Yep. Here we go. Is it up?
A mega pint.
Yeah. That's the thing. You want to see crazy? I'll give you fucking crazy. That's crazy. Oh, you're crazy. Oh, you're crazy.
Have you drunk this whole thing?
Is that supposed to be the mega pint? Is that supposed to be the mega pint? Because hold on, I'm going to click this back just a little bit, because that is just like a regular, that is like a mason jar on top of a, hold on, I'm going to play it for a second. I just want to grab the.
What happened?
Yeah, blah, blah, blah.
No, that's the thing.
So that is maybe a slightly large bottle of wine that is already halfway empty, if not a little bit more, because the top's already drank down.
Crazy, I'll give you fucking crazy. That's crazy. Oh, you're crazy.
So that is not an empty bottle now anymore. That is also just like a mason jar sized cup that's got like a thing on the bottom. This is not. He also doesn't fill it to the brim, I don't think.
Okay, I'm going to pause for 1 second because I want to point this out. And since Chesh is here, I'll widescreen it. Hold on, Chesh. Is that better? So I widescreened it, but this is what I want to point out. So here she says to him, have you drank this whole thing this morning? If you look right up here, I think it's 1:30. So I don't believe that he just rolled out of bed and started drinking. I think he got up in the morning. She may have left. He found out that he was losing a bunch of money. And then this is where this came from. But if you look at the clock right up here, it's not morning. It's like 1:30 in the afternoon.
It is. And he did have some kind of conversation or meeting to find out about this that took some time. And she does say during the video, if I'm correct, that she does say she just got up, and he does confirm that, yes, you've been sleeping like this time. Like, she wasn't there. Yeah. She was the one sleeping till 1:30 in the afternoon. Little pamper. I shouldn't say that because I would do the same thing if I had free time, but still. Anyway.
Okay, here we go.
All right, I'm muting.
Average size bottle of wine. He didn't empty it. It's still got like at least maybe a little under a quarter left to it.
Have you drunk this whole thing?
And that is a normal cup. That is a normal. It's not even one of those, like, you know how sometimes you have like those really big. Hold on, maybe I have one. We're gonna do some science. All right. So he's got something that is a cup that is maybe about like a mason jar size. Like, it's not one of those huge mason jars. This is like one of the smaller ones. To be fair, here's it compared to my head. I'm a very tiny person. And his hand like cups this thing, right? So here's a Gatorade bottle. So just for reference, because I know I'm not a very good size comparison, but this is like the size of it. Mason jar bottle, right? Okay. So here is like one of the larger kinds. It's not the biggest wine glass I've ever owned. I've definitely had larger ones, But generally, you don't fill these up all the way. You fill them to maybe about here. Fill them to about halfway. So let's take a look. And I'm gonna pour this into this, and we're gonna see. I think the one he has is a little bit smaller than this one. So this is just as best as I can get because I don't have that kind of a cup. So, right? Let's see. That is about how much? So that is a full glass of wine. So there you go. There's your amounts that we're talking about. The mega pint. We've learned. Science.
I love her. Science. I love her. I love that.
Next best thing, and look at how this goes into like an actual something that you may be able to. So this is 710 milliliters. So I can't use that one because it's still water. Here's an empty bottle of wine. So it is obviously bigger than that. This is like your standard size. So the one he's got is like the double of this, right? So this is also 750 milliliters, right? So this is 710. Oops, sorry, 710 milliliters. All right, so we're gonna see how much of the 710 milliliters is gonna get poured into this. So I'm probably gonna spill some, but I'll try not to. I'll use this empty mug and pour over that, so that way we can try and catch whatever we miss.
Focus.
There we go. I missed almost none. That was a good pour. There nothing in there. Good shit. So that is just above. You can see just at this line here. So this is just over half of 750 milliliters. That's your mega pint. It's not even a Gatorade bottle worth. It's a mega pint. It also doesn't show how quickly he drank that glass. So, or if he had been drinking before this. So.
A mega pint.
Yeah.
That, well done, Chesh. Well done. Well done. Okay, I got something to show you now. I want to show you the glasses. All right.
We heart science.
We love science. We love science, baby. Oh my, get out my inner geek. I mean, it's not even inner, it's outer, it's everywhere. Oh, my geek, my science geek. Look at this. Aren't they beautiful? They're selling out in Las Vegas by this company. Let me just tell you what the header says here on the link. I will put the link in the chat for you all and down in the description because they're actually cool. They're done by two redneck wine glasses, redneck wine glass hillbilly wine on Etsy. They're selling them by 4-pack. They're almost out. It's called Legal Vice. Oh no, they're selling out because Legal Vice bought a 4-pack today. So even the law people are buying them. Oh my gosh. You guys got that is absolutely hysterical. I'm hoping here, go check this article. Oh my God, that's a big link. I don't think it's gonna, nope, it won't go. It's not gonna go. Nope. I'm going to have to erase that. I'm going to have to put it down in the description or find you another little one.
Which is funny because so when I first saw that, I thought that it was ridiculous anyways, because I collect these, but not in the cup like they are right now. I collect the jars, and my mother-in-law actually gave me found me a bunch of the tinted blue old ones with like the metal lid on the top, the old metal lid or the glass lid where you have the piece of metal that goes up and then you put it down and you have to like lock it into place. So when I saw that originally, I just thought, I mean, I don't drink, so obviously that amount of wine for me personally would put me on my face. But I never really thought that it was this monster thing of wine and the whole thing where who does that to your spouse? Again, I have no feelings toward her. I don't think she's a nice person. So,
all right, here's a short link, people. Thank courtesy of our friend in the chat. Thank you very much, Colin. And there we go. Did that come through? Hopefully
it did.
There you go. And so everybody can go check them out. And I definitely need a pair of these. I think that should be tradition from now on, Cheshire. We should only drink our wine from these when we're streaming. I think. What do you think? But I have drank a little bit of wine when I have streamed before. I remember a few streams over on Karma Valley. Hey, Chesh, that there was just a little bit of red wine involved. Maybe Amber would have been very upset with this. I might have finished almost a bottle. Oh God. Like, oh no. Yeah.
That's another thing that I was sort of disappointed on is they put so much emphasis on Johnny's drug use and his drinking. And I feel like in a little bit they didn't really come back on her and be like, but here you said this, and here you said this, and here you admitted to this. And that part was frustrating. But again, you have so much to present. You have to, go with what you feel is the best for your case. So
yeah, it is. And on that, like, because I know you got stuff, and I probably kept you very, very long. But before we go anywhere, and first of all, Ranty, I read everything you wrote, and I appreciate all of that. I do. Awesome, I really do. It would. I don't know. I'm going to figure it out. I think there's a way for me to like replay this whole stream while I'm pretend watching it and do whatever. We'll talk. But I do appreciate it. We would love the exposure. Mandy needs to be known for her voice on these also. I'd love to give her some credit for it and get it out there too. My little tiny channel can't do as much justice. Just don't try to steal it from me, people. I'll come for you. I will. Okay. Anyway, but Mandy, what I want to know is, and I think everybody, like, before we go into jury tomorrow, they're going to come in, right? I don't know if there'll be a live feed or whatever, or we'll get to know anything, because we didn't get to know about all those stipulations that were in the back, and legally that was frustrating me, like, because I love that stuff. I wanted to be a fly on the wall so much. So many of the motions I didn't even get the answers on because they didn't talk about them publicly or even tell us where they were. We had to guess when stuff got thrown out. We didn't get to know about the anti-slap until the very, very end, right? Until the very end, where we found out that they threw it out of the.
I was so glad.
I celebrated, because that's what brought me from 60 to 80. When anti-slap went away, then, because that would have protected the op-ed as a public service announcement of some sort, as protected speech. Oh, God. But anyway, on that, I know I've been saying I think it's 80% proved in that, it's really the 20 is really up to jury's understanding of what they need to do and what was actually proved or not proved. But where are you as far as Johnny's part of the case? I think we're in agreement. Can we all agree? I should put up a poll. I'm going to put up a poll. While you talk about Johnny, I'm going to put up a poll about
you
Amber.
Can poll now? Yay.
I can poll. I'm going to poll Amber's ass, right? I'm going to poll Amber's countersuit. Sorry, YouTube. I just can't. Yep. Counterclaim, right?
So, I've stuck pretty just steadfast on my opinions in the matter, honestly. All it takes is one person on the jury to feel like the things that Johnny said and did could be considered abusive. And I guess just as you go through life, everything that you go through in life sort of brings you where you are as a person today. And for me personally, I just voted no on that SOB.
They didn't even get up and she voted.
Did you see me stop talking? Because I can't do two things at once. I'm like, stop talking, vote no. Okay, I'm back.
You have no
I
idea
saw-
how much I love
saw
you.
it
Oh
pop
my
up on
God.
my phone and I hit that bitch so fast.
I got this. Oh, I got to stream with you twice this week. I couldn't be happier than the pig and shit. Believe me, pigs and shit are happy. They are
Yeah.
happy. I'm just go
So
for it,
for
girl.
me personally, just as as a human being, I do not tend to set a whole lot of expectations on other people. I can set expectations on myself because then I'm responsible for fulfilling my expectations or disappointing myself. I do not ever normally set expectations on other people because there's too much that can go wrong there, right? Free will, people having their own opinions. I don't expect people to see or do or have the same opinions as myself. I've been following this for a long time. There was a lot of evidence that wasn't able to be brought in. There's a lot of points that I wish would have got hammered more, but I'm just not willing to set expectations for Johnny to win this because I don't want the disappointment. If you don't set expectations, you have less of a chance of being disappointed in the outcome of something. I feel as though for me personally, what I've seen in the last 6 weeks, the man who walked into the courtroom to the man who walked out of the courtroom, mentally, physically, his structure, psychologically, I feel like he did what he came here to do for himself and what he needed to do for himself. And we love him and we support him. And I believe if anybody, I'm going to say this right now, if anybody in the entertainment industry has 1 ounce of brain, they better cast him in an effing movie as fast as they can and get him back in because that movie is going to make bank. Period.
Yep, that is because I'm telling you, I haven't watched Aquaman, and I love Jason Momoa.
I won't watch it. Nope.
I won't watch it, and I ain't watching.
You know what?
You know what? I'm not watching it. I don't care what you do, Warners, because you didn't apologize.
Here's another thing they could do: pull her from the movie and see how much support you will actually get. If they pull her and they recast her for some scenes, they're going to see that it wasn't about Aquaman. It was about her being in it. And I believe people would go see it if she's not in it. So it's really up to them, right?
Absolutely. And on that, I hear you. I hear you loudly on that one. Yep. And I would just like to address this for Leotis Chiron. I hope I pronounced it either way correctly. One of them. I hear you, and I think that that's what it is for Johnny too. In many victims of abuse, gender doesn't matter. Although I speak right now more firmly for men because I see them as the minority. I see them being discounted. I see them being mislabeled and not able to speak up because even from their own gender, they would be ridiculed or shamed or told that it does not matter or what did you do or just take it like it couldn't have been that bad. They kind of belittle it. And so I know I have more freedom for my brother, for my ex-partners, for my friends that I know that have gone through it, are going through it. I can speak more freely because I won't get that, not from the men. I'm getting a little bit of it from the woman, like, how dare you? Well, not that much that I can't take. So I will say it, that they need to be heard. And Johnny got heard. And that's what this was about for him. To get the worst thing you can do to a person who has suffered childhood abuse by a parent or anybody else, who had to learn to run away from it, to not react to it, that has all of these ways of dealing with it, okay? By retreat, by remove, by habit, okay? The worst thing in the world you could do to that person is call them an abuser. He's lived his whole life trying not to be. There isn't another woman that came
Right.
forward to say he ever laid a hand. And listen, when Kate Moss spoke, let's remember their relationship. Did they not go from hotel to hotel all over England, destroying every hotel they stayed in because that's the kind of ranctatious rock and roll relationship they had? They caused more hotel damage all over the place, the two of them. They were wild. And she will tell you, he never laid a hand on me. He wouldn't. He would
Right.
not. He could be wild. He could be crazy. He may drink. He may do drugs. Well, he would never lay a hand on me. That's the man. And I think he got that back. I think that part of his reputation was important to him, regardless of the money, regardless of the movie career. That was important because he is a survivor of abuse. Okay? He is. He was raised in that household. He watched his father and his mother do that dance. Okay? He is a survivor. The worst thing was to call him that. And that's why I'm so glad to see his shoulders up, right, Mandy? After he
Yep.
told his story.
Yes.
And that whole courtroom, everyone in that courtroom was with him when he told that story. Okay? Everyone. His shoulders are up now. He's smiling again in that courtroom. He's able to react with people and not feel the shame. Okay? He did the worst thing that he thought he could possibly, that would be the worst thing ever, would be for everybody to know about it and for no one to believe him and for them to shame him or ridicule him about it. But when he got to speak those words and it didn't happen, the whole world changed for him. It finally turned back. It finally turned back from that day where he got blamed. And that is what this was about, Leotis. I think that's what you're getting to. And I think I'm 100% behind it. And I hope the voices get louder. And for more people will talk about this. More people. And I'm not just riding some YouTube train on this. This is personal.
No, yeah.
This is fucking, I mean, you know what? For all of you that don't know me on YouTube, you know, there's a reason. You know, maybe it wasn't anybody's business to put it out there why I might speak on this. You know, I don't have to be a victim myself to speak on it with conviction. It's just a fact, okay? It's just the truth. That I read the psychology papers that Dr. Hughes has been touting, and all of them have a byline in it that says the men's numbers are not reported because men don't come forward. The men's numbers can't be counted on. It looks this way for a reason. The numbers could be skewed. They don't speak out. But where was that disclaimer? Okay, it wasn't said. It's in all of them. They all put it there. I see it. I read it. They don't say it.
Yeah.
Resources are low. And you know, here in the United States, Mandy, our own legal system, as far as the rights of men going through divorce, with children, with custody issues, all of this, it is skewed against them. It is. Because they're looked as to be stronger and always the one doing all the damage. And the women get to use it against them. And I'm not saying all women. I'm not like that. Okay. I'm saying there is a percentage of people using the system against men to get what they want.
Well, and people, and I'm going to make this very unbiased, people who file false reports to the police should be held to some sort of legal standard, because if they were, bullshit like this would stop. But the fact that you can go and you can make these outlandish claims, and get this, anybody at any time can walk into a courthouse and file something against someone else. But part of our system is to look at the evidence and go through, you know, whatever we need to go through to come to a determination. And that's not happening. So something that I'm focusing on right now, and I've been talking this over with my husband, is after this is all said and done, what's next?
Legislation reform.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This needs
that's where we're
to
going.
stop.
Yeah.
It needs to start with reaching out to senators, reaching out to our government. There has to be, you know, like
really,
you
I
said,
want to
more.
talk more legislative reform. I want, you know, still in the United States, we have laws that say women and children. women and children. What? What? Wait. I'm all for protecting women and children, but hello? What about anyone? What about the rest of them?
Right.
Hello? And they want to say why I say men too. There are laws on the books right now that say that in many states. Okay. And Mandy, we talked about this. We're going to continue, even if it's a little bit of time. We won't have a lot to spend, but a little bit here and there. You're going to keep hearing us talk about it. We're going to bore you to death, I guess, but we hope you'll get involved because it does need to change. This can't just be something that happened just because it was a celebrity case, because you know what? I didn't follow it because it's a celebrity case, and I don't care about that. It could have been anybody up there. It was the issues. It's always about the issues with me. It's not who did it. I never say names. You go through my channel. Anything I bitch and moan about, you won't hear me put a name to it most of the time, except for Amber Heard. I was very clear that I'm very biased against Amber Heard on this issue. I do say her name all the time. Well, go through the other stuff. I don't do that. I don't call people out by name and say this, that, or the other thing. It's the issues for me every time. So obviously, if I spent this much time, 9, 10, 11 hours a day, okay, it's the issue. It's the issue.
I want to show you guys something because this is something that annoys me. So hold on. There's no audio, but I want you to see what my husband showed me one time.
Oh, good. Show me.
Okay. So tell me, because I can't see the screen. Are you seeing my Bing?
Yes. It says you're searching. My wife yells at me.
My wife yells at me. You guys, look at this. Right here. If your wife is yelling, then something has set her off. Identify where things started to go downhill. If she's yelling because of something you said or did, apologize and admit. Blah, blah, blah.
What?
Okay?
What?
No, just wait. I'm not even done.
Oh,
is it normal for my wife to yell at me?
No.
If your wife is yelling at you, then it's normal because every girl has mood swings always, especially when they are on their period. This is the shit you find online. Look at this. How do I stop my wife from yelling at me? Repeat as necessary. If her yelling persists, get a divorce or at least a permanent separation. Get off the computer and pay attention to what your wife is saying. She might stop yelling at you then. Okay, ready? Check this out. So if your wife yells at you, something you've done has set her off. What are you doing that's setting her off? But if you come back here and you put, my husband yells
this is
at me.
gonna. Oh, I remember this. Oh my God! I remember the day we did. Oh my God!
If your husband yells at you, it could be because he's a bully. When a man yells at his wife, he's communicating that she is not as important as he is.
What? Wait, so it's not because
she should be exactly.
It's not because they had a bad day at the office. It's not because, the garbage man ran over the garbage cans again, and he's got to go to Home Depot instead of watching the game and buy garbage cans. It's not any of that. It's oh my God. Oh, how come she gets the excuse and he don't? All right, well,
except that you don't deserve to be yelled at. But if the woman is yelling at the men, that's okay.
It's okay. No, it's not.
There's a very sorry, I'm back. There's a very warped issue here that needs. Dr. Hughes has written all of these. Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Dr. Hughes, and I agree, True. We do have to take responsibility, even when it's that time of the month. We're responsible for our actions. All humans are. That hurt people thing. I don't know. Own your shit, people. Own your shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Don't do to anyone. There's no excuse to do this kind of stuff to anybody. Oh, for any reason. There's nothing. Nothing that makes it. I mean, you talk down to your spouse, you belittle your spouse, own it. When they come back at you and say, why are you talking to me like that? I don't deserve that shit. That's how I answer.
So I'm gonna tell you a story about me, and then I do have to go. I have a ton to do today. I'm gonna tell you a personal story.
Okay.
I've had a couple different relationships where I was in physically abusive and emotionally abusive. One was my marriage. We've moved on, whatever, said and done. I had another relationship with a gentleman who I had been friends with for years. So it was kind of shocking the way that he treated me. And it started as little things, just pushing me against the wall. Or one time I got a necklace ripped off. But I noticed these things starting to escalate. And he slammed me against the wall a couple times, and then some stuff went down, and he grabbed me by the throat. And when he grabbed me by the throat, I'm not a person that deals with that sort of stuff ever. I balled up my fist and punched him in the jaw 3 times and broke his jaw. And I felt awful that I had laid my hands on someone else, even though I had gone through years of abuse at this point. And that's the part that I keep going back to with Johnny, is you can only be pushed and be scared and be against the wall so many times that you react. And when he had me by the throat, I thought I was going to die, or I had to get out of it right then.
Well,
That's
you
the last
did,
time I've
right?
seen this
Right,
person in
right,
person, by the way,
right,
because I said
right.
to him, "You will never put your fucking hands on me again."
Exactly. And that is why when she said those same words, right? But then continued and was carried on for how many months and whatever episodes afterwards. That's why maybe it all rings true. It all rings false.
There's
Been
so
there.
much in this
I know.
situation that is so personal to me. That's
I
why
know.
I've had to
And
unplug. That's
I know,
why
and
I've
that's
had to
why
step away.
And that's why I give you great credit that even though you could not watch that testimony, you could not hear about it. And I don't blame you. And I wouldn't repeat it to you or say any of it to you, because that's just too hurtful. That's too demeaning to take that away from people the way that she did. That's why we feel so strongly about it. But for you to come up here after that and still do the recap a couple days later and still come the next week and speak about it because she's wrong. Amber Heard is wrong for what she did. I hope it helps you in the long run heal even more than
It's
you
just
already
so
have.
disheartening, because to hear her talk about it, when I was up against the wall being choked out, I thought I was going to die. And there were flashes where my eyes were doing these things where you start to see like light flashes. I don't know if anybody's ever I hate to talk about abuse like this, but
those
it
little
was
white floaty things. I know
yes,
what
it
you're
was to
talking
the
about.
point where
That's
that was happening. And I thought to myself, who's going to raise my children if he kills me?
I know. And
And that's why I think where we talk about that reactive abuse, where Johnny may have reacted in a couple different scenarios, but he really it's a defensive mechanism to, oh my God, I'm gonna die like this. That's what I felt. This is how I'm gonna die. And I reacted. And how dare I feel guilty for reacting?
You know what? And that's the crux of it right there, because Amber used all that language. She used all of that like against it to try to make us think that, but then the words didn't really match the actions that she took in regards to it. And I just want to say, like the rest of the chats, Mandy, that we are, of course, it's regrettable what you went through, but the amount of strength that you show in coming through it and helping others because of it, it's commendable. And it's why I love you so much. It's not why I love you so much, but it sure does add. It sure does add to the way I want to just give you all the accolades for what you have done through this trial, how you have followed it, how you have helped keep the facts out there, the straight information out there to help others with the whenever anybody misspeaks on it. Mandy's right there to try to say, hey, you know, I really saw the documentation that supports it is this way, which take a look. Like, she's nice about it until you do it again, and then she might not be, but she's nice about it at first, and she gives you the information.
Well, and I'm going to tell you guys, counseling, counseling.
Counseling, right. Get it out there. Absolutely. And for those of you that are saying how skewed it is for things that have happened to your friends, horrible things. I see what you're ready. My heart goes out to you, and I'm glad you have the strength to speak on it. And I want you to heal. And if we said anything to trigger anybody, I hope that you will take care of yourselves. But here on this channel, we always talk the real deal all the time. We don't coach it. We don't hide it. You know, it's always the real conversation.
Yeah.
And so I just take care of yourselves. Hold yourselves closely. Do what you need to do to protect yourselves. Absolutely, at all costs. We don't blame anybody. We don't judge anyone for any of it. I assure you. And Mandy, I got to tell you, like, for you to be able to come forward and even say it, and then still do what you've been doing, and your husband also, and everybody else that's involved, the people that I know also.
Isn't it crazy how and I don't want to call us broken people, but there's been times in our lives that we were broken. My husband and I, we came from very similar,
right?
And now that we have each other, I say this to people, and they're like, "You're lying." My husband and I do not fight. We communicate like adults. We get along amazingly well. We both remember where we came from, and we know where we want to go in our lives now. I think he's my heart hurts for him knowing what he's been through, and his heart hurts for me knowing what I've been through, and I think that makes us, you know, just a very strong couple together. But it is really hard.
It changes you when you come through something like that. I mean, and to know that he knows it, and he knows you know it, and that
and he knows that I am like the defender of. That's my husband.
Listen, people recognize it when they find their safe place. They're few and far between, the person that you can actually be that raw with and expose, and you don't even have to tell him because he knows, because he's been there, Mandy. So that's it's commendable. I'm glad the two of you found each other. You're a remarkable couple.
I know.
The way you support each other.
Years. I'm so excited.
Oh man, we got 30 votes, and that's amazing because there's only 22 of you here. But somebody said that Amber proved her claim. Okay, whoever you are, I won't shame you out here. But come talk to me. I want to know why you think this, or you're just playing with me just so I would say this on YouTube, didn't you? You just wanted to hear my voice go really high and see if I threw a fit. I'm gonna invite you for a conversation. I want to hear what this is about. This is curious. You've got me intrigued, whoever you are. I hope there's only one of you. It's 7%. I think it's one. But 93% of you said, did Amber Heard prove her counterclaim against Johnny Depp for defamation? A resounding no by poll.
I would love to hear somebody's thoughts on the other side of it. But the thing is from what I've seen and from what I understand, when they're trying to make an argument for their case against Johnny and for Amber, it's always just, well, Amber said it happened. Believe women.
Yeah, believe the women, believe the victims.
Yeah, that's not how I roll. So, yeah.
All right. You know what, and you know what, I stand behind being able to go to get a TRO for protection services right away without proving anything. What I don't stand behind is actually taking that farther and blaming the other party without their ex parte, without having a chance to speak for themselves, without, taking their job away, taking their credibility away, their, going to their employers, their family, their friends, putting it in the newspaper. I'm against all of that because you haven't proven a thing yet. But I want you to be protected. Immediately, if you are in danger, I want you to be believed enough to get that thing to protect yourself and remove yourself from the situation. I am 100% for that. And everything else that happened with the Me Too legislation, the protection of evidence, until you're ready to come forward, that your kits are protected until you're ready. You don't have to file right away. They don't get destroyed. They give you time now. You get softer interviews. You get respect. You get dignity. All of that, I'm 100% for all of that. But don't what I'm against is the absolute onslaught on the other party without evidence yet, because that's not how we're supposed to be,
Yeah.
And Seattle, are you going to take it on the chin for that? Okay, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to shame anybody. If anybody really did vote it, I do want to talk to them because I want to know why. Like, I really am that curious. Like, you intrigued me. But if it was an accident, I get you. That means it's 100%. Yay! No. I could deal with 93. The odds are still in our favor. Even better than the 80, I think. That he's going, But,
something I would like to make sure that everybody is aware, in case you think otherwise. Everybody might know this already. Johnny and Amber will not be in court when the verdict is read.
Nope, they won't.
So if you're expecting to see that, it's not going to happen.
No, the celebrity part of this is over. Now it's the waiting, and I know that we're going to be streaming and waiting, and we might just go live whenever. We might do some recaps. I don't know. It depends on what we hear and what goes on. There's so much more. I don't know. Do you feel done? I just don't feel like anything's done yet. I guess we just have to hear the final.
I saw Laura B on Twitter say something about when this is all over, she's going to delete everything Amber Heard related off of her devices. And I think that for many of us, that's kind of wise. As you know, I was following a certain YouTuber for like 3 years. I had thousands of pictures and screenshots. And when I deleted all but maybe 50 pictures that I have now, just because I wanted to make a funny little clip, which I did, which was hilarious. It was a weight lifted. And I think that once this is over, we need to ask ourselves what next, as far as what we need to go for, equal rights for everybody. We need to look at who we need to contact, who do we need to write to, what sort of letters need to be written, the legislation that needs to be in place. And I'm not saying that we need to take away from like the VAWA, Violence Against Women's Act. I think that that's in place for a reason. I think more women are victims and survivors of domestic violence, but in some cases, that is not the reality of the situation. So we need to see what we need to do moving forward, that everybody has a voice.
Right. That's what I want, because equality, right? Equality is equality. All right. Gender, abuse has no gender. Okay. And that's when I say, when you say WAMA, right? The Women Against, Women Against Violence Act. Do you see what I mean by legislation?
Yeah.
Wrong. You're sending a wrong message. Yes, I know women have been on the other end of it for so long, and it was so bad that we felt like we needed to just come out as like a big union against it when the Weinstein things happened and things like Epstein and all of these other stuff. I get it. Right. But you can't leave a whole bunch of people behind when you do it, because that oppression that you felt, you're now putting on them. You know what I mean? And I'm just, I'm salty about it a little bit, because I've seen personally what it's done, and I'm for it. I voted for it. I stood there. I was out there. I'm out there. Okay, I was with all those actresses coming forward. I watched the testimony of Evan Rachel Woods. Like, I'm there. I'm there. I was there. I helped get it there. But you can't leave a whole bunch of people behind when you do it. And how they're getting the legislation. Legislators, be more responsible. Do not use gender-based wording in protections against violence. It's wrong. It's wrong. Okay? In all of the resources, don't be that way. Okay? I'm just saying. right there. Humans against violence would be nice, Organics, people against violence,
Right.
Yes, it would be nice. And I know that, I know I got rose-colored glasses on. I know I am a naive bear, but this is the world I want to live in, and that's the way I want to look at it. So until it gets that way, I'm just going to be like this. I'm just going to be a denier that you're all like the whole thing's just awful and full of shit. I'm going to believe we can get there, okay? Because that's the world I want to live in. So that's the world I'm going to work towards, But yeah. It is a very important legislation call. I really do. I do. And it should be revamped. And that's what I'm talking about. I'm not against any of it. I just want it to be better. It can be better. It needs to be in the passion in the uprising of it all. We did it one way, and we may have been just a little anxious about it and putting it forward and getting it done, that we didn't think about the future enough. And we didn't think about everybody enough. And now we have the chance to go back and change little things. Not that you don't have to toss it. Let's just make it better for everybody. That's all, But sentient beings against violence. I like that, Organic. I like that. I do. That brings my future into it nicely. On that, I know you got to go, love. This has been wonderful. Let's keep talking. I don't know where I'm going to be tomorrow. I think I'm going to be over on Ranty's tomorrow morning. I don't know what the plan is. I think that's the plan. I don't know for sure. If I will, I'll put it on my channel and we'll see everybody over there.
Ooh, that would be cool. Yeah.
As far as for this channel, I do at 7:00 tonight. I do have a legal drama that doesn't have anything to do with Johnny Depp scheduled for 7:00. A recap on Nancy Crompton Bishop, who is the mystery writer, romance writer, who wrote How to Kill My Husband, and then she did, and then they got her. She guilty. But we're going to talk about it, okay? Because you really shouldn't write that kind of stuff and then anyway, we'll talk later, okay? So later tonight, I'll be doing that. And if it's too late for y'all, there'll be a recap. I always put everything in a playlist for legal. You can find it later. Find me if you want. Don't find me if you want, but I'll be out there playing. Thank you.
Isn't Luke going live today?
Luke went live while we were live. I have to go watch the replay. I didn't.
Darn it. Okay.
Yeah, it's okay. Luke will forgive me. He knows how passionate we get about this, but everybody, I did plan. I put it on the back of my community. I wanted to go over there and support Luke. He was doing on he does on psychology, and he goes. Maybe he didn't. Maybe something happened. I'll have to go look. It was on Answers and Reasons. It's not on his channel. It's on Answers and Reasons.
Crap. Okay.
Yeah. It's on the back of my community tab, so it's probably because that's where he's running it on every other Monday. But then maybe not next Monday, but the Monday after that, I'll catch that live. But anyway, I'm going to go watch that after, So have a great night, everybody. Thank you so much of you for hanging out here with us and putting up with the technology difficulties and all of the ranting and raving that I tend to do.
Thanks for being here while Mandy learns how to screen share.
Mandy did great. It was Bear's computer that took a big fart on the screen. I mean, come on. But you did wait, and they love it because I'll rant and rave, and then you're so reasonable, and it's like it worked out really well. But thank you all. You were so well balanced. Thanks for the emotion. Thanks for the commitment. Thanks for hearing us out and letting us have our voices on these, because it's been quite.
You guys are great. I see the same people here. You're always, always, always so supportive and just listen and have awesome insight. And I appreciate that. I appreciate being part of all of this. And thanks everyone for being here, of course.
Yep. And thank you. And on that, I'm going to let Mandy go. I'm going to put on an awesome outro. Don't stay in your seats, everybody, because it's been quite a few hours and you probably need to get your blood going. So this outro will definitely do it for you. Thank you. Shout out to Counter Talk for making it so lit. I do love this one. I'm going to have to start another series just to play it. But thanks, Mandy. I'll talk to you soon. I love you, boo. I love you, boo. God. And we go.
Oh my God. Did you hear about the...
No, but did you see that? But
I'm not saying anything about the
Oh, yo, let's just call it what it is. Fuckery.
Oh my
Ain't no motherfucker in this world can do it like me. Open up your eyes and insert a little rising. You don't have to love me, you don't have to like me. Got enough love in myself, in my psyche. You should have the same in your brain nightly. If you wanna taste, bitch, you can fucking try me. If you wanna hate, bitch, you know where to find me. And if you go and hate this, you can fucking bite me.
I'll be cruising in my lane fast, call it high speed. I've been working hard, yeah, I've been working nightly. If you think you'll win, ha, not fucking likely. I be taking shots, yeah, cold-blooded, icy. Watching numbers grow is what I call sightseeing. In the front row, run it up when they hype me. The following grows, they know how to ignite me. Call me CEO, I've been running shit right, see.
No, but did you see that?
I'm playing games, I create my own lane, making pleasure out of pain, turning losses into gains. I'm the boss, I'm making change. I've been rocking this exchange, popping off and risking things. Gonna make a fucking name. I just wanna be famous, but I don't want that cheap fame. No, I'm not that vain. I just wanna be greatness.
Oh, yo, let's just call it what it is. Fuckery.
I just wanna be greatness.
Ain't no motherfucker in this world can do it like me. Open up your eyes and insert a little rising. You don't have to love me, you don't have to like me. Got enough love in myself, in my psyche. You should have the same in your brain nightly. If you wanna taste, bitch, you can fucking try me. If you wanna hate, bitch, you know where to find me. And if you go and hate this, you can fucking bite me.
Okay, I'm going off every chance I get. I don't really take a loss, well, I'll admit. That's why I'll make it to the top, yeah, I commit. And no, I'm never getting lost, I get after it. Investing in my own stock, cause it's faster than any crypto hits go, let me spend. Everything that you see is something I invent, and it's only a percent. I'm gonna take shots, if I miss all, forget it. I'll take a fat loss just to learn all that's in it. I'm taking snapshots, learning how to fall and get it. I'm getting back up, always stand tall, don't sweat it. I never back up, I don't miss a thing or regret it. I'm always learning, you could call me academic. I'm always working, never been apathetic. Bad energy is like a poison, needs a man, a septic.
No, but did you see that?
I'm not saying anything about the.
Oh, yo, let's just call it what it is. Fuckery.